to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Yesterday, apparently, at some point during the day, I said, after all morning long, we were talking about the assassination, if I can, of Charlie Kirk. At some point, I said, and this Charlie Kirk thing being issue, I could have used issue, but Aaron G on the website, very bothered by that. Really, Bill? This Charlie Kirk thing, that's what you call it? You know, this JFK thing, this Oswald thing, you know, this space shuttle thing, you know, this Bill Clinton under the desk with Monica Lewinsky thing. Are you happy now? Give me a freaking break. I mean, some people got to grow up and look in the mirror and realize you are so partisan you cannot even sit down for Thanksgiving dinner and enjoy it. The hell is going on in this world? But I don't want to start this way, Davey. Good morning, Davey. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. So that thing that we worked...
This 9/11 thing yesterday was amazing. I mean, incredibly respectful and a wonderful tribute. This Davey thing we're dealing with, though, I'm not sure about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about. We won't talk about it. Okay, what are you going to say?
What we did is back working.
It is working. That worked. Okay. All right. The stream was down this morning. We have a special guest coming in this morning. He'll begin in the 7 a.m. hour, and his name is Utica Mayor Mike Gimi. Actually, he's in the studio or on the phone. We don't know.
I didn't know. I just put both.
All right. But our special guest is going to be our former news guy and show member, a former employee of WIBX, until he couldn't handle working with Phil Stern anymore, if you remember, Davey.
Oh, I remember, because I was here.
You were here for it, and that's all a part of our 100 years. You know, that Phil Stern thing. I'm going to try to make this all work for you, Aaron, today. And Scott Carr will be in. I have not seen Scott Carr since, I think, it has been a long time. And I feel bad. I was probably 30 pounds lighter at that point. He probably looks exactly the same. And he's had a really good career, although this business is just brutal right now. But we'll speak with Scott Carr later on this morning. He'll hang in with us, and we'll talk about some of the things that have gone on. He has a great deal of knowledge because he worked here. I started working with Scott in 1989 when he was doing news on The Morning Crew on Rock 107. He, I believe, may have been the news guy for Bill Whiteman as well. So I came in as the new guy, and you know how that goes. But it was all good. We did. We had a great time. So Scott will be in this morning. What else? Jim Rondinelli is coming. It's going to be like a 100th anniversary. We'll have these. I think Friday's a good day for it. A 100th anniversary, like throwback, flashback show, all the way till December 5th, when this station becomes exactly 100 years old from when it signed on. Susan, are you aware the app isn't working? Still running the football loop message. You just...
I fixed it.
Okay. Yeah, Davey, Well, that's probably the commercial before, right? All right. Anyway, we'll do that and a whole bunch more here this morning, including Hobica's free money question of the day. We'll give you a chance to win there. The Buffalo Bills last night. The New York Mets last night just getting out to a 4-0 lead and blowing it. The Yankees had a big win, and it's a big college football weekend and NFL weekend. The Bills playing the Jets this weekend. Giants are playing, hoping to get their first win. Davey's wearing he's chosen. He wasn't sure who he was going to support. Would it be Syracuse or Colgate tonight? And he's going with the Syracuse jersey. So there you go there. Also, last night on Wheel of Fortune, there was I'm trying to figure him out, Davey, and get a phone number for you. I'll get it. But his name was it Mike Hensel? Well, I couldn't hear you. I can't hear you when you yell from there.
Eric Hensel.
Eric Hensel. His dad was Joe. They were both featured on Wheel of Fortune. He won last night on Wheel of Fortune. So he's a local guy. We'll try to grab him this morning, and I'll play a little bit of the audio. He had a very bad. What do they call the final puzzle, where you can win the big money, maybe even $1 million?
Final Wheel, I think it is.
Final Wheel.
I don't know.
The Wheel Spectacular.
Yeah.
Maybe Tanya would know. Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. Good morning, Tanya.
Hey, good morning.
Do you know what they call that when the person wins Wheel of Fortune and then they go to the little wheel and they have a chance to win the big money? What do they call that? The grand wheel, the final wheel?
You know, I'm not sure. I haven't
remember.
seen it in a while. Yeah, I don't know.
Believe me, since Ryan Seacrest is there. Oh, boy. All right, listen, let's get to business here. There's a new Fox News poll out, and it regards President Trump and his approval rating. This is a Fox poll. So what do we know about this one, Tanya? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, the Fox poll on the president is one of the two that we have out that's current. The other one, which I also urge you to go look at, is on the foreign policy. It deals with U.S. involvement in Ukraine as well as the Middle East, and we can also talk about that if you want.
Okay.
As far as the president's approval numbers, the latest Fox News poll finds that by a 22-point margin, voters say the Trump administration has made the economy worse rather than better. The amount of people who think it's made the economy worse is 52%. People think it's been made better is just 30%. That is almost identical to how the people felt when they were polled about the Biden administration, and the reverse of how voters felt 8 years ago during Trump's first term. So it just kind of gives you some context around what those numbers look like. His job performance rating is still what it was last month. 46% approve, 54% disapprove. Underwater on the economy as well. That is dropping. The opinion on Trump as far as the economy, last month, 32% rated it excellent or good. Now that number is down to 29%. Still almost within the margin of error, but it seems to be dropping. The biggest issue for families in this poll, 58% said grocery prices. Shouldn't really surprise anybody. The next one was 49% say the biggest issue is housing costs. Gas prices are at 33%. More people, 37%, still say the economy is the most important issue than any other in the country. So.
Well, the problem is he set himself up for failure with this. He ran on a campaign, and I'll be getting hate mail after saying this, but he ran on a campaign of the day I take over, everything will change within 24 hours. The wars will end. The economy will, the price of this, that, and the other thing is going to go down, and that hasn't happened. And yet the stock market continues to shine. Yesterday, another record performance in the stock market.
Yeah, I mean that's great news. But when people are trying to go to the grocery store and feed their family,
that's right.
They're probably not at the cash register going, this cost me $100 more than it should have. But the stock market's great.
That's right. Yeah, but,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but my stock in Apple has just skyrocketed. You're right. I mean, it's the everyday, and it's that everyday person who put Donald Trump in the White House for a second time. So Those I just remember on the day that he had won, where the messages we were getting was, I can see the egg prices going down as we speak. And that just hasn't panned out that way. And these wars are far more stubborn than I think the president anticipated, whether it be Israel or Ukraine and Russia. These are not easy fixes.
Well, and there was a couple of things that I found really interesting about the results of this part of the poll that Fox just did, which was 39% of people who responded to this poll believe America should do more to support Ukraine against Russia. 29% say some of the support should be pulled back. 31% say it should stay the same. So we're kind of, a third almost there, because it's not quite a third on the first one, but they say in the Middle East, 8 of 10 people who were polled said Hamas is to blame for the famine in Gaza. 68% said Israel is also responsible. They looked at the numbers from March of this year to now. American support of Israel stays steady at about 55%, but over the same period, support for Palestinians has grown by 9 points. It went from 32% to 41% now, and that was the part of the poll that I was, surprised by, or at least it was notable to add in there.
Well, and I think the media gets blamed for a lot of this, for covering the story. It's a story that should be covered, and sadly, it's the as we're talking about the everyday people in the United States, it's the everyday people in Gaza who are caught in the middle of this, and I do believe that Hamas uses them as they hide behind civilians, and it's the civilians that end up being killed. So, but it's horrible to see what's happening to just forget everybody else, just the children. It's a terrible visual, which is why you really kind of in the beginning, I think you had people out there predicting. Saying, this Israel has absolutely the right to respond. They need to do it hard and effectively and fast, because the longer they stay in it, the more the public opinion around the world will change, and it has.
It obviously has in this poll. And remember, these are not done by TV viewers or radio viewers or whatever. These are actual polls. We have a polling team that has Republican and Democrat on it. We take these quite seriously.
So this is an MSNBC poll that you just quoted from?
This is a Fox poll.
Oh, I just wanted to make that clear, if we could.
A Fox poll, yes. I'm glad you pointed that out again. And again, I will always talk about where the polling numbers came from. I speak with the polling director from time to time, and we talk about this. And so I want to make sure people understand where their numbers are coming from, because there's so much out there that you don't know where it comes from, and it just sounds good and people repeat it, and there's no factual backing on it. And I want to make sure that this is not like misinformation.
A lot of these that you get are you can commission a poll online, and it has absolutely no scientific background whatsoever. So, all right, as always, Tanya, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. An update on the Charlie Kirk assassination, Aaron. This guy's still on the loose. I really felt like once the picture came out, that we would really be seeing just an amazing number of. How do you not know? If you know this person, and remember, this is a person of interest. We still do not know that the picture that you see of that young guy in the stairway is the shooter. He is a person of interest, and we have to be very careful. So far, the FBI has interviewed 2 people. 2 visuals have come out, and both of them have been released and are deemed not a part of the shooting. So this is number 3, so the photo is out. Police are looking for this person. The FBI is looking, and right now, we don't have a name. We have a picture, but I'm shocked that it's been 12 hours and we still don't have a name. No one has called in. Is it possible that there's a family member out there that's looking at it saying, oh, my God, you know who that is? That's Bobby. And they're out getting their attorneys, or, maybe later today. I mean, if there's someone out there that knows him, I suspect that before noon today, we're going to have some real movement in the case. If not, this guy's been gone for it'll be going on 2 days that he has been able to roam the country, or where has he moved on to Canada? Has he slipped through Mexico? Has he been able to? Was it a plan where he was able to get on a plane? Is this somebody who had contacts with a foreign entity, and there was a plan to get him out of the country, or is he just a lone wolf that was able to pull this off with or without military experience? I don't know. None of us really know, and I don't think at this point the FBI knows. Wow. It's 6:40. Update on the news here at WIBX.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callan. A man who pleaded guilty to strangling his girlfriend is going to be spending up to a decade behind bars. Yesterday, a judge sentenced 46-year-old Jeremy Kirsch to prison on a manslaughter charge for killing Elizabeth Gerling at her home on Birch Circle in Marcy back in 2024. Gerling was the principal of Columbus Elementary School in Utica at the time of her passing. Prosecutors say Kirsch voluntarily stopped using his mental health medication before Gerling's death. The superintendent of Oneida School District is providing an update on repairs being made to the high school. Matthew Carpenter says site work is underway. The district is operating as if these repairs are going to take the entire academic year. That building was severely damaged by flooding back in June, and the process of rerouting storm drains has started, and plans call for temporary transformers to be installed next week. Students are currently taking classes at the Otto Shortell Middle School. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is looking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to investigator Sahid Karsik of the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, police are looking for 38-year-old Michael Schurer of the town of Vienna. He's wanted on 3 warrants for violating terms of his probation. Police are asking for calls and tips to be made to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers on their tip line at 1-866-730-8477 or through their app or online at MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com. You can see the full story on our website at WIBX950.com. In a possible case against Caitlin Conley regarding another trial, a third, in the death of Mary Yoder, Judge Bernadette Clark has denied a motion by the Oneida County DA Todd Carville to recuse herself from the case. Judge Clark said that she has absolutely no reservation whatsoever that she has been and continued to be impartial in the case, reminding the court that there currently is no case or charge against Conley after her conviction was overturned by the appellate court earlier this year. Clark said she didn't and has never commented on the case or a case in her 25 years on the bench. The DA presented testimony from 2 witnesses saying that at a Christmas party, Clark stated she thought Conley was innocent. Judge Clark has denied the claim. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
More beautiful weather expected right into the upcoming weekend. Really don't see a bunch of rain chances. Going to start to get a little bit more in the way of fall color with these cool nights and mild days. So hopefully we'll start seeing things looking a little nicer in the Adirondacks and the Catskills. Little patchy fog this morning, then sun 78. Tonight near 50. Cooler in our cooler spots, especially in the North Country. Sunny 78 on Saturday. Maybe some showers and thunder showers Sunday afternoon. I'm Ray Stachik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, before the sun comes up, a little warmer this morning, a little less cool. Maybe better way to say it. We're at 49 degrees here in Marcy at WIBX. Coming up, Willie Waffle and some great stuff to stream. We saw a show last night that was, I'm just going to tell you, mind-blowing. And we'll speak with Willie about it. Coming up at WIBX.
Adirondack Home Furniture is having their annual Labor Day sale event through September 17th. With 15% off the lowest price on every item in the store, you'll be able to transform your home with quality, durable, American-made furniture. Looking for the perfect piece to complete your rustic look? Adirondack Home Furniture in Utica carries a wide selection of beds, tables, and more. Is traditional or contemporary more your style? They have that too, and on sale. Or is a better night's sleep what you need? Then check out their selection of Restonic mattresses or their private label flippable mattress line. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and take part in their annual Labor Day sale. But hurry, the sale ends September 17th. Adirondack Home Furniture, family owned and operated for over 49 years. Located in Riverside Center, Utica. Give them a call at 315-738-7817 or visit AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Hi, I'm Lisa, owner of Fit Body Boot Camp in Clinton and Whitesboro. I couldn't be prouder of our amazing members. Take a listen.
My name is Savannah Malerba, and I'm from Westmoreland, New York. Results-wise, from my last set of measurements, I've lost about 15 pounds. I've lost about 17 inches between legs, waist, chest, all of the parts. I've also gained a lot of energy in my daily life. I'm a school teacher. I teach K-6 math intervention full-time, and I go from the beginning of my day at 5:15 in the morning all the way to 3 o'clock at the last bell and still have enough to keep going and jumping around my classroom like crazy all the time. So this has helped increase my mental endurance in every single way. I feel like I handle a lot of challenges in the gym and outside of the gym, and I feel like I have the people around me and also the mental capacity to support all of those things at the same time. And that has developed a lot more because of Clinton Fit Body.
If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. The time is now to live your best life at Fit Body Boot Camp.
Attention investors with a 401k, IRA, or retirement account. The dollar has lost over 25% of its value in the past 5 years, and it's only going to get worse. Are you prepared for what's about to happen next? We are Advantage Gold, the #1 customer-rated gold IRA company in America, and we are helping Americans prepare for the great de-dollarization by diversifying their portfolios with physical precious metals. We've partnered with former chief economist of the IMF, Kenneth Rogoff, to give away his latest book called Our Dollar, Your Problem, a must-read for investors. Call 800-741-GOLD, and we'll rush a free copy of Our Dollar, Your Problem to your doorstep and include our special gold IRA investing kit, valued at $49. The dollar is losing value fast. Call 800-741-GOLD now to get your free copy of Our Dollar, Your Problem and our free gold IRA investing kit. Supplies are limited. Consult your tax and financial professional before investing. Call 800-741-4653. That's 800-741-GOLD.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I want to bring you back to last night this was WKTV last night.
Well, you're going to meet the guy we were talking about a second ago, his father. What's his name?
That's Joe, my father.
Signature laugh. We love having you in the audience. What do you think about your boy?
Wonderful man. He's a great father, too.
Yeah.
And a son.
Very sweet of you. Thanks for coming to
So
cheer
this
him
is
on.
Eric Hansel.
You go for more right now.
From Chadwick's, and he had a really on Wheel of Fortune last night. He had a very, very difficult, difficult, whatever they call this prize, the end wheel prize, the big one.
That is what we are working with.
It was something pillow, and I couldn't get it. I wasn't able to get it. He didn't get it either.
Pillow, bed pillow, throw pillow.
Body pillow.
Well, yes. Body.
Oh, I sleep on every night, too. So.
You use one. Well, let's see what this would have been.
And he would have added $40,000.
$21,350.
But he wins $21,000 from Chadwick.
Thank you very much. Joe, nice to meet you.
And his dad was featured on there as well. Pretty cool. Last night on Wheel of Fortune. See if I can stop this here and bring in Willie Waffle. Good morning, Willie. Good morning.
Good morning. $21,000 is one day's good work, baby.
It is. Just for picking a few letters and spinning a wheel or two. And of course, what a wonderful contribution he made to New York State. Probably close to $11,000 of that went to the coffer. So, I mean, really a good man and really helped all of us pave the roads.
Deserves a thank you note from the governor, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. Yeah, I mean, even the lottery, when you see the person, if you're in one of the states like ours and you win the, $1.7 billion, when you look at the cash payout after taxes, It is really rough. I mean, you realize.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can live with it. I would live with it. But,
yeah. But I always dreamed it would be really wonderful if one of these lottery winners like steps up to the podium and goes, "I just became the number one customer of the state of New York, and I got some problems.
Yeah,
and I'm going to tell the governor what we need to do here."
That's exactly right. And I'm wealthy, so I can do it now. I mean, could you imagine? It's like, you're giving me $278 million after taxes. This is ridiculous. I don't want it. You take it back. I mean, I'm sure you can live with whatever you end up getting at the end of the day. Yeah. But it is amazing how much money goes to taxes. All right, Willie, I want to start off topic. I think it is. I got to bring up your cheat sheet here this morning. But off topic, last night, I, on the advice of my wife, and I'm advising, I think this is Netflix, every single person who can hear my voice to watch this. I guess it's a documentary. It's about 80 minutes long on Netflix called The Unknown Number, The High School Catfish.
I've been hearing about this.
Oh, I can't say much more because my wife is like, you'd be very careful what you say tomorrow because there's a spoil going on here. You're going to spoil it. So spoil alert. I'm not going to screw it up. I'm just saying this will blow your mind.
Okay.
And it's worth watching.
I wish I watched this instead of Charlie Sheen.
All right. Well, and the next one on our list is Charlie Sheen. And what do you think of it?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's called AKA Charlie Sheen. It is basically Charlie Sheen's life story as told by him and all the people that are interviewed here who are all like his friends and people he worked with. And, it's supposed to be the unvarnished truth. I'm going to just let it all hang out, kind of the typical Charlie Sheen. Now, what really kind of got me is that this thing it's a two-part documentary. They might as well just call it 2 movies. Each one is like an hour and a half long, man. And so the first part is really kind of like his younger life, growing up, having Martin Sheen as a dad. I mean, Martin Sheen was a really big deal.
I did not know that Martin Sheen was such a mess, too. And I never knew that,
Yeah, and they talk about that in the movie too. What happened with him when he was making Apocalypse Now, and in the steps that he took to try to better his life. You see Charlie and his brother Emilio shooting home movies. You get to see a lot of that. You get to see stories from their pal Sean Penn. Yet Sean Penn just was their friend out in Malibu.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get all that, and then you see the rise of his career, and you see the different movies he was in, and then the acclaim that he had, and then of course all the troubles.
Yeah.
So that's part one. And then part two is, he goes to television. He's, it's a rebirth for his career and all the troubles. And so, that's one of the themes throughout the movie is the guy has gotten more second chances than anybody on the planet. I mean, the guy is, I think I counted 4 of them at one point.
He is a cat. And so he has 5 lives still to go, it seems.
Yeah, I think
right?
he does.
I mean, how do you and this is like another attempt at recovery, right?
Yeah, I think it's almost like another comeback. I mean, a lot of this is to promote. Oh, guess what just came out this week? His book. Yes,
right.
The biography. And so, I felt like the whole thing was a little unfocused, a little bit rambling. Big shock coming from Charlie Sheen, right? I think it doesn't really cover everything. I think at times it makes his career, let's be honest, sound more successful than it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was still very successful. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But, they leave out a lot of those movies that we laughed at, and not for good reasons. Okay?
Well, and his brother and father are both not. They didn't participate in this.
They
right?
did not participate at all. They did not want to have anything to do with this. I don't blame them. But they interviewed Brooke Mueller and Denise Richards, who are his ex-wives. They interviewed John Cryer, who still has a lot to say about 2.5 Men. So that was interesting. And I thought, the most interesting interview of them all was Heidi Fleiss, the madam that he used to be friends with. And
I forgot all about
big
that.
Customer of,
Yeah.
She's the one who really just hates him to death.
Wow.
So
and did he like? I mean, he partied hard and spent a lot. I mean, he had many demands, I'm assuming. And but did he was he a part of turning her in, or?
Yeah, he testified against her.
Okay.
And he explains how it happened and why he regrets it to this day. So I won't reveal that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
And I think the other really interesting thing was just, he was big pals with Nicolas Cage, and those two guys were crazy.
Yeah.
And so you see that. But I'm at like 2 waffles.
Okay.
I felt like, it just needed more focus, more of a driving storyline, I thought.
So I don't know if I can do this on the fly, but once I get into the groove, that's all I do, like all night long when I'm cooking dinner or whatever is my lady. That's my Downton Abbey, the old guy.
Nice, very nice.
It's a horrible impression, but I don't know why, but I love this show. And when it was on, and then the movie came out, it was okay. And now there's another movie that they say is the, what are they calling it? The grand finale.
The grand finale, the final movie, right? Oh, excuse me. I mean, the thing's been going for like 16 years.
It
now,
has,
15 years now. You know, and so this is like the 3rd movie, and and it's the summer of 1930. Oh, and you know what that means? Everybody's broke.
Right.
Even the Crowley family is facing great financial trouble and possible social disgrace.
Oh boy.
Because Lady Mary is divorced. And they're not getting invited to the parties anymore. And so it's all about their one big attempt to try to get their lives back together as we say goodbye to Downton Abbey. I think you're the person who's going to love this movie because you've been watching everything.
Yeah.
You've seen them all. I mean, it's not like you're going to come in now. It's not like you're going to be like, let me try that Downton Abbey. Forget about it. You don't know the stories. You don't know the background. But, it's got, I think, all the things that I think the big fans love. I think it's got all the costumes. It's got the great cinematography. It's got all the backroom, jousting that's going on. I'm at like 2.5 waffles.
Well, they were all going through the especially during the war. They were all going through the fact that their wealth. I mean, everybody else is poor, and there they are living this wealthy life with servants, and all of a sudden the country was beginning to turn on them. So I'm assuming during the Depression that was intensified, and that's probably what we're going to see.
You're going to see a lot of that, and you're going to see that, maybe they can't be there forever.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
boy. Well, listen, they made a ton of money off this show. Everything from a ton of merchandise. I mean, if you're into the show, which my wife is really big into it, for everything from cookbooks to teapots, they've got it all. And I'm assuming that'll intensify going into the movie. It's only in theaters, right?
Only in theaters, and they'll hustle it out to streaming pretty quick. I mean, it's like a 6-week turnaround now, so
that's unbelievable.
You don't have to wait very long.
Anything else that I'm missing that that's really the Long Walk? Anything worth seeing? A Stephen King story, right?
Yeah, I mean, The Long Walk is interesting. Like you said, it's a Stephen King story. It's basically it's this dystopian post-war America where there's great poverty and great pain everywhere. And kind of like the Hunger Games, they gather one teenage boy from every state to walk. And the one that's still left standing, the one that keeps walking, wins unimaginable wealth. All the others die.
Okay.
And so the story is who will make it to the end. I just felt like it needed a little bit more development, a little bit more character. Right. I'm at 2 waffles.
Okay. Mike says not having Charlie's dad and brother on the documentary was a huge loss. Joe says I watched the Catfish show, and he said I am amazed. I can't read the rest of his comment, Donna. I can't read yours because it would spoil the whole thing. Watch this thing on Netflix, and we'll talk about it next week.
We will.
All right, Willie. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks, man.
All right. See you next week.
All right, Willie Waffle, and we have news coming right up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
Still searching for Charlie Kirk's assassin. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I think progress is being made. He's an animal, total animal. And hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him.
President Trump will be on TV on Fox and Friends next hour. Also says he had a long conversation with Kirk's widow and she's devastated. Vice President Vance flew Kirk's casket and family from Utah to Arizona, where Kirk's Turning Point USA organization is based, and the president says he'll attend the funeral. As for the manhunt,
the weapon used, a bolt-action rifle, was later recovered in a nearby wooded area, according to investigators who so far have not commented on the engraved messages which were left behind on both the firearm and ammunition. So far, again, the FBI has declined to comment on this. We've also got new, clearer images of the person of interest, and they also give us a better view of the man's face and the clothes he was wearing. A baseball cap with a triangle logo, dark sunglasses, and a black shirt with an American flag and eagle.
Fox's CB Cotton outside Utah Valley University, where Kirk was assassinated Wednesday while addressing a crowd. A U.S. Naval Academy student is hospitalized after this happened.
There was an on-campus lockdown at the Naval Academy because of what turned out to be a false report that a disgruntled, dismissed midshipman had returned, armed, posing as military police, knocking on dormitory doors. A Navy student sheltering in the dorms under that lockdown order mistook a real naval security officer clearing the building as the falsely reported active shooter.
Fox's Chris Foster, that student attacked that officer, then was shot and wounded. We're learning more about Wednesday's Colorado school shooting and the gunman, a 16-year-old student at Evergreen High.
He was radicalized by some extremist network.
Jefferson County Sheriff's spokesperson Jackie Kelly. Now, that boy is dead. After wounding two fellow students in the school, he turned the gun on himself. The victims are in critical condition. America's listening to Fox News.
Since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families. Heroes like Mark Holbert. Mark enlisted in the United States Army and served multiple tours, including 3 in Afghanistan. On his 4th tour, he stepped on an improvised explosive device and lost 2 of his fingers and both legs. Tunnel to Towers provided Mark with a mortgage-free smart home, which enables Mark to live more independently. Support America's heroes, like Mark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Ryan Ruth's trial will resume this morning in a federal court in Florida. He's charged in the second Trump assassination attempt last year, and he's acting as his own lawyer.
Prosecutors said Ryan Ruth had lists of all the items he'd need to stake out President Trump's West Palm Beach golf course, including diapers. The Secret Service agent who shot at Ruth when he realized the barrel of an AK was pointing at him from the bushes onto the golf course testified about the encounter, but so did the man without whom prosecutors might not have this case. Tommy McGee recounted seeing Ruth run out of the bushes, looking frantic and disheveled. McGee, who heard shots fired by Secret Service, followed Ruth and got his license plate number, which later helped police track him down. Ruth, who's representing himself, had awkward, short interactions on cross-examination and had his opening statements cut short for being irrelevant to the case. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mostly lowered, up a little for the NASDAQ the day after a big surge following reports on growing inflation and increasing unemployment, lifting expectations of a Federal Reserve interest rate cut next week. The Dow and the NASDAQ both closed at record highs. Week 2 of the NFL season kicked off last night.
The Packers have moved to 2-0 on the season. The Green Bay defense held the Commanders in check, beating Washington 27-18 on Thursday Night Football.
From the 8 to the outside, wide open touchdown, Tucker Kraft.
That was courtesy of Amazon Prime Video as tight end Tucker Kraft scored in the 4th quarter to make it a 2-possession game. Jaden Daniels was never able to get the Commanders' offense humming, with Washington being outgained 404 yards to 230. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
The Washington Commanders fall to 1-1 so far in the year. Also last night, President Trump went to a Yankees game in New York City where they paid tribute to 9/11 terror attack victims. He met the team, then watched the Yankees win, beating the Detroit Tigers 9-3. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callan. A man who pleaded guilty to strangling his girlfriend is going to be spending up to a decade behind bars. Yesterday, a judge sentenced 46-year-old Jeremy Kirsch to prison on a manslaughter charge for killing Elizabeth Gerling at her home on Birch Circle in Marcy back in 2024. Gerling was the principal of Columbus Elementary School in Utica at the time of her passing. Prosecutors say Kirsch voluntarily stopped using his mental health medication before Gerling's death. The superintendent of Oneida School District is providing an update on repairs being made to the high school. Matthew Carpenter says site work is underway. The district is operating as if these repairs are going to take the entire academic year. That building was severely damaged by flooding back in June, and the process of rerouting storm drains has started, and plans call for temporary transformers to be installed next week. Students are currently taking classes at the Otto Shortell Middle School. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is looking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to investigator Sahid Karsik of the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, police are looking for 38-year-old Michael Schurer of the town of Vienna. He's wanted on 3 warrants for violating terms of his probation. Police are asking for calls and tips to be made to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers on their tip line at 1-866-730-8477 or through their app or online at MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com. You can see the full story on our website at WIBX950.com. In a possible case against Caitlin Conley regarding another trial, a third, in the death of Mary Yoder, Judge Bernadette Clark has denied a motion by the Oneida County DA Todd Carville to recuse herself from the case. Judge Clark said that she has absolutely no reservation whatsoever that she has been and continued to be impartial in the case, reminding the court that there currently is no case or charge against Conley after her conviction was overturned by the appellate court earlier this year. Clark said she didn't and has never commented on the case or a case in her 25 years on the bench. The DA presented testimony from 2 witnesses saying that at a Christmas party, Clark stated she thought Conley was innocent. Judge Clark has denied the claim. Another court delay in the case against the Oneida County deputy accused of setting a home on fire where his baby and his baby's mother were sleeping. Aaron Slasherman's attorney says more time is needed. The case has been scheduled for October 2nd. And a 67-year-old Utica man faces charges that he robbed the Utica Walmart using a BB gun. George Larkin is charged with stealing a box of protein shakes on the morning of September 9th. Larkin faces charges of second-degree larceny and fourth-degree possession of a weapon. Police say when apprehended, he also had a .243 caliber rifle in his possession. In sports, the Yankees avoided being swept after pounding the Tigers 9-3 in their finale from the Bronx. President Trump met with the Yankees Thursday night. He watched the Yankees-Tigers game in person with families of fallen 9/11 responders on the 24th anniversary of 9/11. The Mets, however, were unable to avoid a 4-game sweep after falling to the Phillies 6-4. Reed Garrett was tagged with a loss after allowing 3 runs on 3 hits and a walk. New York is still third in the National League wild card after 6 straight losses. They start a series with Texas tonight in Queens. The Liberty have won 3 in a row entering the postseason. New York took down the Sky 91-86. Brianna Stewart led the Libs in scoring with 24 points. The Giants are hoping to collect their first win of the season. New York is visiting Dallas this weekend on Sunday. The Buffalo Bills will be in the Garden State as they look to start their season with back-to-back victories. The Bills set to battle their AFC rivals, the New York Jets, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Week 3 of college football starts tonight. Syracuse 1-1 will host Colgate at the Dome. The Orange likely won't have one of its best offensive weapons on the field. Head coach Fran Brown says running back Yassine Willis probably will not play for the Orange when they host Colgate tonight at the JMA Wireless Dome. There still are some tickets available. In other regional action, Hamilton College opens up at 1:30 Saturday against Williams. Utica College's Believe Bowl home opener is tomorrow night, hosting RPI at 6 p.m. at Gaetano Field. Morrisville's home opener is at noon tomorrow, hosting University of Rochester. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
More beautiful weather expected right into the upcoming weekend. Really don't see a bunch of rain chances. Going to start to get a little bit more in the way of fall color with these cool nights and mild days. So hopefully we'll start seeing things looking a little nicer in the Adirondacks and the Catskills. Little patchy fog this morning, then sun 78. Tonight near 50. Cooler in our cooler spots, especially in the North Country. Sunny 78 on Saturday. Maybe some showers and thunder showers Sunday afternoon. I'm Ray Stachik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We're still with partly cloudy skies and 49. This hour, Hobica's free money question of the day. It's a Friday, and each day at 7:35-ish, we give somebody a chance at some dough. And this morning, how much are we looking at?
280.
We did 275 yesterday. You're going up. Why don't you just make it an even 3?
Okay.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, it's up to you. It's really up to you.
It's not up to me. Every time I make a suggestion, either you or somebody changes it.
All right, so you want me to go with 280? I'll go with 280.
No, we'll go 3.
No, now we're going 280.
Okay.
Okay.
And 10 minutes later, folks,
it'll
be 300.
I'm gonna honor your wishes. It'll be $280. We're gonna take that $20 from them and keep it in Hobica's pocket. Hopefully, somebody wins the $280 today. We'll do that at about 7:35 this morning. This is literally how we pick how much money is on the line for the contest. So we'll get to it. All right, I wanted to ask you last week. Both you and I thought that at the end of the game against UConn, Syracuse came back to win. It was a big win in overtime. And Coach Fran Brown was not happy. And he had the team do wind sprints, right? And you saw it. You were there.
Sure was.
Your impression of that. I think we both said the same thing. That is cool.
Sure was. He's
sending a message to that team.
And he admitted the team didn't play so well. That's why he did it.
So Pat McAfee and John Gruden did not agree.
I like Pat McAfee.
Gruden was like, oh, yeah, I'm a tough guy, Fran Brown. Look at me. I'm a tough guy. I'm a great coach. Everybody look at me. And he said, and you did it on the backs and shoulders of your players. Shame on you, basically, is what McAfee and Gruden had to say.
Well, what's John Gruden doing now? Nothing.
Okay, that's your
Fran
response
Brown,
to that.
You're coaching in college football.
And then Greg Olson also complained.
He criticized them too.
Yep. I don't really know Greg. This is Fran Brown. I don't really know Greg Olson, so I don't want to talk about him at all, to be honest. He was a good football player. I told the players we were going to do something. If you know me, then you'll understand what happened. But once I saw all those people still out there, there are certain things that you can't do. It becomes a different situation. It was not like I could go up and do things we would do to ensure the guys are running after practice and get it done. So instead of, hey, just come in, we'll handle it tomorrow, we play on Friday, so we've got an opportunity to do other stuff. That's what I did. I like the move. I think it sends a great message to the team. And if I'm Fran Brown, I don't care what everybody else thinks. You know what? Because guess what? If he doesn't win, they'll have a lot to think, and he won't be there anymore.
And then the Syracuse media will criticize him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So
just like they do ex-coach Jim Boeheim.
If you're Fran Brown, you just got to go with it. And
I like Fran.
The move.
I like Fran Brown.
I like him too.
He brings an energetic feeling to this team.
Do you think he's worried about what it looks like on camera when he's screaming at his special teams coach?
Nope.
Because there was or his defense or what defense because there were too many players on the field. I mean, do you think he cares? Because it looks bad. I mean, he's out there screaming at his coach. It doesn't look good. But that's Fran Brown. I like him.
There was one time during the game on Saturday from where I was sitting, he actually ripped into 3 players right as soon as they got off the field. He was in their face.
Yeah, I'm there. I like it, and we really want him to. We want him to win. I'm assuming. Is this the mayor? Good morning. Oh no, whoever it is just hung up. All right, you got to call the mayor. I don't think he's going to be in studio. I think he's going to be here. Mayor Mike Gimi is coming up in a second. Later in the hour, Scott Carr, who was a longtime broadcaster here, and I think Scott and I and many others, we've been through it all. Some pretty wild times, and even he worked here, and he has a lot of information on our 100th anniversary, which comes up this year. Big year, and we're working on some big things. We'll be announcing that real soon. So here we are, Friday, September 12th. Stand by. It is 7:15 at WIBX.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery.
I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years.
We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe. GoFundMe is the #1 fundraising platform. 200 million people have used GoFundMe to support people doing things like furthering their education, starting a small business, or bringing people together in support of a cause. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. GoFundMe is free to set up and manage, easy to use, and designed to help you reach your goals.
The community was so supportive in helping me finally open my bakery. Now, every day I wake up and get to do what I love. And it all started with GoFundMe.
What would you do if you had the money to do it? Get started today with GoFundMe. Start your GoFundMe today at GoFundMe.com/news. That's GoFundMe.com/news. GoFundMe.com/NEWS. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe with actors voicing experiences inspired by our users.
Hi, I'm Lisa, owner of Fit Body Boot Camp in Clinton and Whitesboro. I couldn't be prouder of our amazing members. Take a listen.
My name is Juliana Carone, and I'm from New Hartford, New York. Clinton Fit Body Boot Camp actually found me. When I walked through the doors, I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to keep up because I am 68 years old. I was scared to death, but everybody was smiling, everybody was having a great time, and everybody just came out of the woodwork and greeted me. I have been there since March of 2024. Physically, I've lost 20 pounds. I've lost about 10 inches overall. I have a husband at home who has some health issues, and so I needed to be healthy to take care of him. It's given me more patience with him most of the time. And I sleep better at night. I can't say enough about Clinton Fit Body Boot Camp.
If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. The time is now to live your best life at Fit Body Boot Camp.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft.
I thought it was safe.
If that happens, LifeLock gives you a US-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims, your agent handles it all. In fact, we're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Isn't it nice to have someone like that on your side? Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you suffer from sore feet, back, knee, or hip pain? The Good Feet Arch support system has helped many people find relief, like Tim.
I'm always telling my colleagues who have sore feet, this is the greatest thing. I'll even take my shoe off and show them. And I believe in the product so much. When you have something that works, you kind of want to share it with people. It worked for me, maybe it can work for you.
Or do you wake up at night with heel pain, like Crystal?
I would wake up in the middle of the night with all kinds of pain in my heels and in my arch. So I went to the Good Feet store. And ever since then, I've been pain-free. I wear them every day. I wear them when I walk, at the gym, when I work. They're great.
Get back to walking, working, and exercising, and imagine a life without pain. No shots, no surgery, no medication. You've got nothing to lose but your pain. Stop into the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. We're located on Commercial Drive, across from Hobby Lobby.
To doing what I love and more.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
20, 15, 10-5, diving, is he in? He is!
The NFL is on Westwood One.
Down the middle, it's caught over the shoulder in the end zone. Touchdown, Smith! And that may make it insurmountable! Wow!
The NFL plays here all season long on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Listen, it's back to school time, meaning fall and snow. We're not too far behind. Before winter sneaks up, take one big thing off your list. New windows from New York Sash. Right now, during the September window sale, you'll get 50% off window installation. Whether you need a single replacement or a whole house full, New York Sash has the perfect fit. And the best part, you don't have to imagine what they look like at New York Sash in their showroom on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. You can actually see the styles on display, walk through and compare beautiful bay and bow windows that add curb appeal. Check out the sliders and casements and bring in the light and, of course, the traditional double hung windows. Every option is custom made and built to be energy efficient, so your home stays comfortable and your bills stay low all year long. So while the kids are hitting the books, you can check windows off your to-do list. Stop by the showroom today or visit NewYorkSash.com. Right now, the September window sale, 50% off installation in New York Sash. 349 Oriskany Boulevard, Whitesboro, New York Sash. Let their family take care of your family. And you realize that lead is a real problem, and Oneida County, Utica in particular, one of the worst places for lead in homes, potentially causing lead poisoning for children. 1 in 2 need to be tested in New York State for lead poisoning. It can harm a child's brain, nervous system, speech, hearing, learning, and behavior. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider today. And here's what we want you to know. If you're a homeowner, a renter, or a landlord, you own the property, up to $30,000 per unit in HUD lead hazard reduction funding is available. Up to $30,000. If your home was built before 1978, chances are there's lead all over the place. Plus, there's money for what they call healthy home grants, removing mold, moisture, asthma triggers, and improving air quality and energy efficiency. All you have to do is call the number 315-724-4197 or go to leadsafeutica.com for details. It is a great investment, and it might be actually paid for by the state. Go leadsafeutica.com or 315-724-4197. In studio right now, you got to be tight on these mics. They're terrible. I mean, they're wonderful, I was told, but they're terrible.
I understand, Bill.
Yeah, he's gotten old. Ladies and gentlemen.
People might not recognize me anymore. I used to sound a lot younger and more spry back in the days, WIBX.
Back in the day, you look the same, you sound the same. I mean, really. And you're wearing the jacket.
I had to wear this Rock 107 jacket just in memory of our days there. WRCK is an AM station now. You know, I leave for a few years and the whole place just changes.
Well, I think they just moved the call letters around. And so now that 50,000 watt station
Yes, I know.
That was quite powerful as religious.
Still is, yes.
It's religious now.
Yes, indeed. It's it's wonderful to be here, Bill.
That jacket is awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Well, because that's my childhood.
Yeah,
I remember bringing the little 45s with my father to Rock 107 and the record stores of Zen. And I remember the sticker. I had Rock 107 stickers all over my bedpost when I was a kid. Yeah. That's
well. It's funny. By the way, Mayor Gimi, Scott Carr.
How you doing? Nice to meet you, Mayor.
Mayor Mike Gimi. He's also
he's awful young to be a mayor.
He's a musician and he is young to be a mayor.
Okay.
Well, everyone looks young to us these days.
I am 10 years older now than Tim Julian was when he was mayor.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Tim was young. I never. Well, we were all young then.
Well,
So.
Tim, I think, became council president around the same time I became council president,
Oh,
age-wise,
okay.
and then
Yeah.
got tossed into it like 1 year later when Hannah lost his blew his top, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
His
Ed
top,
Hanna.
maybe
Oh,
not.
Lord.
Maybe there's more than just the top there.
Flew the coop. I don't know what you want to call it. Did he go to France?
I've got
or something
stories about
crazy?
Ed Hanna that will curl your hair, but we won't get into it immediately.
No, but Rock 107, that's cool. I just saw a big billboard in Binghamton. It said Rock 107. I was going to Google it and see what that was.
Well, there are Rock 107s all around the country, probably.
But I
so.
was curious to look it up because I'm like, is that still like some fringe affiliate from the original one? But
We were probably one of the more unique because we were a top 40 station.
Yep.
And
Power hits.
Power hits, Rock 107. Yeah. And most Rock 107s around the country. So if you are anywhere in the frequency of 107 and you're a rock station,
you're
there's a
obviously
good
Rock
chance-
107.
There's a good chance you were Rock 107.
I was trying to remember, what year did you start there? The morning show.
Listen, I started.
Was that 89?
1989, December of 1989, and I started dropping off cassette demo tapes to JR.
That's who I remember visiting
JR.
in the office.
Yeah,
when I was little. JR.
Sadly, Jim is no longer with us, but I was persistent. For 2 weeks, I dropped off a different demo tape every day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did.
No wonder
And
you
I
got it.
came and knocked on the door that's how I got the job.
Yeah.
I knocked on the door and it was Nick who would be there at 5 in the morning.
Yep, Nick Simon.
And then I would go off to work in Little Falls where I was. That's how I was persistent.
WLFH.
LFH.
I remember the first time I met Bill Keeler. It was at a remote broadcast you were doing at the Herkimer Bosie's.
I remember. You were teaching there.
I was teaching
That's
there.
right.
And little did we know we'd be working together not too long after.
Not too long after that, yeah. I was a product of that Bosie's program.
Okay.
Which was, I don't think that exists anymore.
I wouldn't think.
Herkimer's radio TV program doesn't exist
Oh,
anymore.
I
It doesn't?
know.
It
That was
doesn't?
No, end of an era there. Well, radio's
really
dying,
is.
Bill. Radio's dying.
Oh.
This is what all my millennial friends
Now you
tell
guys
me.
are like some of my
keep
younger
hearing that.
friends went through that program, which means
It's gone now.
it's gone.
Yeah,
really
it's gone.
Wow.
All right, Scott, we have a lot
So
to
how's
talk
it going? Sorry.
We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to get to it coming up. I cannot believe somewhere I have that jacket. I went through many girlfriends who wore it. Yeah.
Many.
Yeah. Well, those
the
were the
radio
days.
life, right?
Those were the days.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Which I would never ever want to go back to. So
I've got the
just
silk.
making that
I've got the
clear.
white silk one too.
I never had that one. That was before me.
Yep.
White silk. I'm just picturing whatever's going on there. Yeah.
Well, that was like
Different time.
that was the end of the era.
It had to be
of
like
the-
83.
The disco. Yeah.
The world
Yeah.
was different.
It was different. All right, Mayor.
Speaking of white silk.
Speaking of things that are different.
Yeah.
You're doing. And it's good to have you back here. I know it's been
Yes,
a little
hello.
while. Hello.
It was a busy month and a half, actually. It's crazy.
And you're dealing with a lot of this homeless encampment stuff. Talk about what you're finding. And are you finding any white silk by the railroad tracks?
No white silk. No white silk. Well, the encampment stuff we've been dealing with, like if you go look, I think we actually did an interview about this last summer as well.
Yeah.
We put together a coordinated, a directed and coordinated program where Mike Peak, who works in the Urban and Economic Development Office, is our coordinator between the county services, all the other affiliates like ICANN and ACR, all of the different shelters, the Mohawk Valley Housing and Homeless Coalition, so that as we go through and document where homeless encampments are, we could do outreach. Now, last summer, we were doing much longer outreach because we had to first identify the people, try to get them the help, the services, and then we would clean them up. Everyone remembers what was going on under the Court Street Bridge last summer, right?
Yep.
The Face Street corner across from the body shop just after the bridge, a lot of those. So we've been dealing with this for a year and a half. I took a really staunch stance in the fact that I want this stuff cleaned up. But if we're going to do it, we have to help people.
What do you call the one by Burstone Road? If you're getting onto the arterial,
So that was the big
down in by the railroad tracks.
So that was
there.
the big state one. That one we did not clean up.
That's still a mess.
That one, so that one we coordinated with the state for a couple months on, and then they spent over $100,000 cleaning that one up. That one was like a condominium complex down by the power lines and the railroad tracks, and that again, that's state. So we worked with them on that one. All of the other ones, like on the State Street off ramp, Faye Street. Some things on Columbia, all of these that keep popping up, we're doing shorter outreach right now. So instead of that 7 to 10 days, the one we did on the other side of the bridge from the hospital a week and a half ago, for example, we met the county there.
Yeah.
And the county said, we know who this is. They're actually a couple blocks up panhandling. There was a tent. There was all these children's clothes and like an old Hot Wheels and all this stuff. So we're like, are we sure? What are we doing here? And they just told us, they said, no, this is habitual. They're known to utilize children's clothing and children's paraphernalia to beg for money and say that it's for a family, but they don't have kids. They don't have any. It's just them. And we worked together and we cleaned it up.
You may have people donating like toys and stuff.
Right.
So they're not gonna.
So
we have a wonderful collection at our homeless camp of Hot Wheels.
Well, so long story
wonderful.
short, it's usually not what it seems.
Yeah.
But
so you're cleaning them out, but you got to help the people.
Yeah.
And that makes complete sense. And I'm glad we are doing that. Now I do ask you, where are these people coming from? And is there some sort of incentive? Like, is there someone that's bringing them in and they're getting grant money as a result, or is there where's this increase coming from?
One, there's definitely been a big uptick over the last 3-4 years.
There has.
When I've just hung out with larger groups of the unhoused and just stood there for an hour and just kind of just small talk, and then you break into like, so where are you from, like what's going on, how'd you end up here? There was a group of about 11, 12 people, for example.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about a month ago, this group that I was with, probably 3 or 4 of them were from out of state, and they just kind of were like, we kept moving east and now we're here. The rest of them were like either Utica, Rome or Ilion, Herkimer, but they were currently here. I would say, and this is just me just observing it on, and one-on-one, half of the people that are currently, I think, part of this unhoused population are people we have been dealing with for a long time. Okay. Some of them are new. Now, when you're talking about grant money, who's bringing them in? I don't see anyone trucking people in. I think that it's known that we have a lot of services here, and people do come here.
And for that reason, they're coming here.
Right. Yeah. They're thinking they're going to obtain services.
I mean, I'm hearing from business owners, they come into their workplace, and all of a sudden out in the bushes, there's a little tent and somebody's...
No, it's popping up out of nowhere.
All over the place.
Just last night, for example, because it's so frustrating to like also keep the workers that are cleaning this stuff up motivated. That entire running trail on the other side of the bridge where Columbia and Lafayette and like State Street are, I just went down there when I left the office about 10 to 5 and sat there for like 40 minutes. I was there till 5:30. I ended up going up to the ribbon cutting for Mike, Total Solutions afterwards. I sat there and I took a photo. I'm going to post it later and talk about it because I just sat there for half an hour looking at it because we had just scoured it. We just cleaned it. We just reset it. And there was a mattress in front of me. And there was just food containers all over the place. And there's just ketchup smeared on benches.
And you had cleaned all that out of there?
Yes. And this was like within days. In some, like Copernic Park, for example, we'll go and do an abatement. And it's different now because, and I'm being very serious about this, 5-6 years ago when we would go and like, the council people, we'd go and like look at this stuff. It wasn't as just hoarding trash and just this absolute filth that was left behind. it was definitely people who were unhoused, definitely people in need of services, whether they're drug addicted, mental health issues, or just simple, just like, every once in a while you do run across someone who like lost their apartment. I did.
So you're saying these people are messier and we should teach them how to camp.
Well,
you throw away your garbage.
So, Parkway and Oneida, we had an incident 2 days ago where like 5 shopping carts, we went down with DPW to clean up the cold litter. We sent cops down to actually ticket people, which is something we're also starting to do this year, is just double down on the fact that, no, we are going to give the tickets. We are going to do the littering. We are going to do the trespassing, et cetera. One of the reasons we had to send the cops down for that one is they were screaming and yelling, this one woman, at the DPW workers. And those were the same people that were the panhandlers with all the kids' stuff 3 weeks ago.
So mental illness, drugs?
And
I mean, why else would you be camping out by railroad tracks?
There is
in
a segment.
Utica?
There's a segment of this population that has been offered every single service. Those same people I'm talking about, the same people I'm talking about, were the ones under the Court Street Bridge last year. We cleaned up all the garbage, right? And then they had a dog. We obtained them a hotel room. They were working with providers to get housing. And within 2 weeks, and someone paid out of their pocket for this hotel room because the county didn't have anything, right? Because we're like, no, they're going to accept help. They trashed the hotel room, got kicked out, and became very belligerent and said, we want to be on the street.
Yep. Happens over and over again. I live outside Washington, and you should see the homeless encampments there. They'll chase them out. They'll be back in within a few days, and they just find somewhere else to go. It's like when they just... pushing it over to the side.
I hate to say, but I'm comparing it to, like, you got a cat that's urinating all over your front porch or your lawn furniture. I had a neighbor who took the cat and made his way to a rural area and let the cat go, which is not the right thing to do. It's a terrible thing to do. However, the cat wound back up at the guy's house. Somehow they get back.
Well, so here's the thing.
I mean, I hate to reduce it to that, but that. And is there some sort of
the Phase Street thing I was dealing with yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't think all of those food containers and everything were purchased. The dumpster behind 5 Points, for example, I think that's where a lot of that's coming from.
They're eating dumpster food?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. So, which is why we're trying to get them somehow in some viable
whatever happened to the
solution
day
here.
where you could arrest someone, institutionalize a person to prevent them from hurting themselves.
So that's what the Mohawk Valley Psychiatric Center used to be.
Yeah.
And
that's why we can't fix this problem.
So that is in part why we can't fix it, but what we are doing. So this is very public right now because when I took office last year, I said, we're going to start cleaning this up, but we're also going to start putting everyone's heads together on the street with people. I'm going to be there. The county's going to be there. I'm going to bring people in from my offices to actually start leading these efforts so that, we can do this on a continual basis.
Fix the problem.
Well, here's the thing. Utica is always, 10, 15 years behind on trends, on finance, everything, right?
Yeah.
Property values.
Mm-hmm.
We're also behind on this. That's why we're seeing it now. Everyone else saw it 10 years ago.
But there's no easy answer. Mayor, if you come up with a good one.
Well, so here's the thing, though. Because we're 10 years behind.
Trademark it and
we've been spending a lot of time looking at what didn't work elsewhere.
Yeah.
And there's a big gap right now. And it's kind of what you said, Bill. And we have to figure out how to bring that back within the context of the current state and federal laws.
The one thing that does help
We're
us...
missing between 24-hour drop-in centers and supportive housing.
The one thing
gap.
and I got about a minute and a half speaking with Mayor Mike Gimi. The one thing that does help us is winter. Really bad winters, it's not as appealing to be outside in the Northeast.
I wouldn't think. Why are these people here and that a little further
here's
south?
the problem.
Even Binghamton or something?
Here's the concern.
So much nicer to the south.
Listen, I have found myself seeing that quite a bit.
Yeah.
But here's the other issue. People are doubling down now on, and we didn't see this 3-4 years ago, even though, the housing stock was similar. I just actually sent the message to convene a meeting of the Housing and Homeless Commission and all the members, through my office, because right now one of the things I put in that invite was as winter is coming, now we're going to have to deal with squatting indoors and the fires.
Right.
So the winter doesn't drive south and west anymore. It drives them into vacant properties, which is why also you see constant news reports of us boarding up houses and securing things, because now we have to make sure they're not in somewhere
what a mess.
Out of sight, setting fire to something.
And as Scott is saying, it's all over the country, and no one can seem to figure out how to stop it.
Somebody has to find a way to compel these people to be taken care of to some extent, because as you say, it's the same problem around us. They don't want to be housed.
Yeah.
Well, so what we've been doing for the last year and a half,
The
Scott,
president has been sending people to Guatemala.
There
you go. There you go.
Sans shipping people out of Utica, we've been taking the approach of actually being persistent. Actually, and here's the thing: certain people are finding the help they need. We have actually had some success stories. It's very slow.
But that's got to be smaller.
It's very small. It's
number.
very slow.
Yeah.
But then here's the other thing. Right, we're documenting it. We're putting it on GIS maps. We're tracking this in spreadsheets, because now I'm going to the state at the state level and saying, here's the data on this. That's why I want the tickets now. Now, it's very frustrating for the police department to give tickets, especially if they result in an arrest and we have to literally let the people go before the paperwork is even done because of the different new processing laws in the state, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we don't do it, we have no tracking data.
We
are making headway at it.
We have it bad here, but Scott mentions D.C., even Syracuse Armory Square has just been inundated. It is all over, and we probably are so much better off than other cities around the state.
It's a traffic hazard around where I live. I live in the small town of Gainesville. It's about 45 minutes outside of Washington. They have a lot of homeless people who sit and stand on the medians every single day. There's at least a dozen of them in this small town, and it's a traffic hazard. And
sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're right in the road. I hear they stand right in the street.
So the panhandling. I know you're short on time, but I'm working with the Common Council on this right now. They're trying to figure out panhandling, right? And one of the things I spoke to the chief of police with is said, hey, we can't ban panhandling in the city. That's ACLU. That's First Amendment right, et cetera. But let's try and get the council to focus on if they're interfering to or distracting traffic underway. I do think we have something there, and that can be a real offense.
What are you going to do? You're going to ticket them and arrest them, bring them in, let them go, and they're going to be right back out there.
Which is a way to get them into a process where under court order they have to go to the services that you're talking about.
Okay, well, that would be...
And that's the point. We have to find a way within the new construct of all the laws we're dealing with today to get them slotted into a court-ordered actual path to stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Mayor. This is who would have thought this would be the big problem that we can't seem to solve?
I didn't think that this was the problem I'd be working on almost 24/7, but it's something that I have to work on.
I want to say good for you for taking it on, Mayor.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's an alley down in Franklin Square that you could put them all. No. Okay, we won't go there. Inside stuff. It's a Utica thing right now.
Inside baseball.
Not Hannah Park?
Hannah Park. That'd be a perfect spot. No. Okay, Mayor, thank you.
How about the Psych Center? We do have a campus.
I spoke to somebody about that very spot just a couple of days ago who had people camped out on his business property saying, we have the Psych Center right there. What are we doing with that? And
I don't want to push the hand
problem
of,
is that's the state, right?
I don't want to push the hand of OMH, but I did actually make some headway and had an audience of HCR, ESD, and OMH about the Psych Center campus. There's some activity there where they want to build supportive housing. And as a mayor dealing with this homelessness issue, what I'm saying is we need that bridge gap of the housing that's in between that 24-hour and supportive housing. We need to do both. If we're looking at this and we want to get people off the street, you could create all the supportive housing you want. They're not going to go there.
Right.
We need the 4 to 6 week program that helps them get there.
Yeah.
And that campus was a model for that. A lot of the problems we're dealing with.
And sadly, a lot of atrocities occurred there as well. And I think that's what the reason for getting rid of those facilities was because terrible things were happening to people. They were being put away.
There was a guy killing homeless people down in Washington for a while.
That's even worse.
Pretty
right?
bad.
So
how much more time do we have?
How do we
Do
find?
we have 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Because I want to describe. I'm going to try and wrap it up, but like I want to describe this other unhoused population that people don't think of, and it's the one that really like tears at my heart. Right? Picture, for example, and I've seen this progress just in my lifetime, not just as mayor, but over my lifetime. Picture the person who graduates high school with the high school degree, but still needs the parents. Okay.
Yes.
To get the clothes ready, cook the breakfast, get to
there's
Chanantries,
some
get
sort
to
of
the grocery store to be the bag boy.
There's some sort of a mental issue.
But they're functioning. They have a job, right? But now those parents get older.
Yeah.
And then those
That's
parents
a big
pass
problem.
away.
That's a big
and
problem.
now that person who really relied on their mom, dad, or aunt, or whoever they were living with, all of a sudden the bills start piling up. Then all of a sudden the water gets turned off. Now all of a sudden the house gets foreclosed on.
That's a whole other problem.
No, but here's my point. Some of the people I'm encountering, these are those people. They're the people like we went to high school with. And then when that happens, they're walking out of their house with that reusable shopping bag, with whatever they feel they're walking out with.
Those are truly homeless people who didn't make that choice.
And that's why we have to continue to be compassionate about this, even though we're cleaning out homeless encampments.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that truly need the help and should have the help.
Fair enough. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor Mike Gimi. Scott Carr, Mike Gimi.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Scott Carr.
Good to meet you. Sounds like you're doing a good job.
Trying. That's all we
tough.
can do.
Yeah.
Right?
Trying is more than some actually accomplish. So,
that's true.
That's a good start. All right, Mayor, thank you. Let's do Hobica's free money question, then we'll bring in Scott Carr. Davey, it is worth, what did you say, $280 today. All right. We could give it away, and I got a really good question, a really, I think, easy question. Today will be magical. Believe in yourself. Thank you, Mayor, for that. I say that every morning when I look in the mirror. I'm like, yes. I have the little unicorn in my bathroom.
Are we going to have Joe Hobica on the...
We can bring Joe in.
Oh,
yeah.
because he and I go way back.
That's a long, way back time. All right. $280. Caller number what? Six caller right now. 315-736. Have a magical day. 315-736-0186. $280 on the line now at WIBX.
Adirondack Home Furniture is having their annual Labor Day sale event through September 17th. With 15% off the lowest price on every item in the store, you'll be able to transform your home with quality, durable, American-made furniture. Looking for the perfect piece to complete your rustic look? Adirondack Home Furniture in Utica carries a wide selection of beds, tables, and more. Is traditional or contemporary more your style? They have that too, and on sale. Or is a better night's sleep what you need? Then check out their selection of Restonic mattresses or their private label flippable mattress line. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and take part in their annual Labor Day sale. But hurry, the sale ends September 17th. Adirondack Home Furniture, family owned and operated for over 49 years. Located in Riverside Center, Utica. Give them a call at 315-738-7817 or visit AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Which room is next for you? The bedroom? Your kitchen? The living room? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. What's holding back that next home project? Is it budget? We have flooring choices for any budget and financing options available. Maybe it's inspiration. If so, come and talk to our experienced design team. We're here to help you get unstuck. Maybe you're putting off redoing a room because you're worried about spills and accidents. Whether it's a pet in training or a growing family, we have flooring solutions that can withstand anything life has to throw at it. We have incredibly durable tile options and 100% water-resistant carpeting that's both beautiful and practical. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
Attention investors with a 401k, IRA, or retirement account. The dollar has lost over 25% of its value in the past 5 years, and it's only going to get worse. Are you prepared for what's about to happen next? We are Advantage Gold, the #1 customer-rated gold IRA company in America, and we are helping Americans prepare for the great de-dollarization by diversifying their portfolios with physical precious metals. We've partnered with former chief economist of the IMF, Kenneth Rogoff, to give away his latest book called Our Dollar, Your Problem, a must-read for investors. Call 800-741-GOLD, and we'll rush a free copy of Our Dollar, Your Problem to your doorstep and include our special gold IRA investing kit, valued at $49. The dollar is losing value fast. Call 800-741-GOLD now to get your free copy of Our Dollar, Your Problem and our free gold IRA investing kit. Supplies are limited. Consult your tax and financial professional before investing. Call 800-741-4653. That's 800-741-GOLD.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Take advantage of Mattress Express's guaranteed lowest price program. Bring in any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry, and we will beat the price. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Together, we can do more. On September 19th, our community will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, an online day of giving to benefit area nonprofits. Your Mohawk Valley Gives donation will help hundreds of nonprofit organizations meet our community's greatest needs, and every dollar counts. Join us on September 19th at givemv.org, and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley gives. Powered by the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties and Up Mobility Foundation. MV Gives is proudly sponsored by Staffworks and M&T Bank.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay. It's time for Hobica's Free Money Question of the Day, and I think we're going to celebrate the fact that longtime friend and co-worker, newsman, sidekick, singer...
I'm in a band now.
You are in a band.
I didn't mention that.
Oh,
yeah.
we got to talk about that. Scott Carr is in studio here this morning.
So great to see you, Bill. It really is.
Really great to see you, and we have not seen each other in many years.
It's almost 30 years, I think.
That's just crazy. What really pisses me off is you look the same.
No, not really.
Look at his hair, Davey. Look at the hair he has. It's not even gray.
It's
not even
out.
gray.
It's getting gray now.
It will. You're in Utica.
Yes.
That'll do it. Dale is with us right now. Dale, good morning. How are you, Dale?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I hope that you go back to the days when Scott and I worked together, because that's what today's question is. How old are you? I mean, give us a... Sorry.
42.
Oh.
Well, right on the cusp. Maybe he might get it. He might have been a child when we were
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to give you 2 chances here. So here's your first question. How do I stop this, Davey? Which one is it? Oh, it's that one. Hit it. Thank you. All right. Here's your first question. You have 7 seconds to answer, and it's worth $280. And it's from the category Fill in the Blank. The afternoon catchphrase at the end of this Rock 107 DJ's shift was "Good night, blank." Fill in the blank. Ready, go.
Rockers?
Yeah, if you don't know, you won't know. It's not like one you're going to be able to Google.
There's a lot of people thinking Rock 107. What was that?
So this goes back to probably it ended in the 90s, the early 90s.
92.
It was with JR was the DJ in the afternoon, and it was Goodnight JR, and it was a sexy female that would.
Yes, I remember that. He was our boss.
He was our boss, and actually worked here for a time. All right, Dale. What I'm gonna do for you is just at random, without even looking at it, I'm gonna pick a question. It's gonna be worth $100. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna pick a random question, and here it is. This is a repeat question, by the way, one I've already asked. But listen, it's worth giving it a shot. All right, here's your question. As a Beatle, Ringo Starr sang this country song. It was the flip side of the Yesterday 45. What's the title of the song? Also done by Buck Owens. Ready, go.
Oh.
Starts, all I got to do is... Yeah, well... we tried.
I know it.
And that is
Act Naturally.
Act Naturally, Buck Owens' song done by the Beatles. All right, listen, we're going to give you tickets to the RV show. Is it next weekend, Davey? In Syracuse at the New York State Fair. Plus the all-in-one food and fun card. It is worth $25. Good with the Comets, even the Comets gift shop. So stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Dale. There he is, Davey. That's Dale. So just tell people, Scott, what you have been doing. You've had some really nice jobs.
I think you can hear me to the top of the hour, bottom of the hour. There's some station around here. It's the NBC newscast, NBC News Radio.
Okay, you're on that.
Yeah, and I you want to hear something funny? Here's an indication of, I know this is kind of inside baseball stuff, but a lot of people say radio is dying. Kind of sad, I know.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Well, so the job that I'm doing now, the NBC News Radio newscast, is the same job that I was doing at Westwood One with an anchor who was probably getting paid about $250,000 a year. And in studios in downtown D.C., Jim Bohannon was one of my coworkers.
That's awesome.
And so
legendary.
And I was producing the newscast. It was my job to get the sound together and to play them live on the air or play them back on the air. And the anchor would write and do it. Now I do it all from my desk.
So you prepare it, you voice it.
Everything.
You do it all.
Everything from the top to bottom. And I'm getting paid, about a tenth of what that overhead was back at Westwood One.
Wow. For NBC though.
Yeah, well, it's.
But who has NBC Radio today? It's not as common.
It's not really NBC. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I could get in trouble.
Well,
but it's owned by another company, and ultimately it's an iHeart.
Oh, it is. I see.
So that was what we used to do at Westwood One. They bought it from Westwood One.
It is just astounding what has happened since COVID. I think 9/11 took a real hit to all media. It seemed or created a hit, and then COVID. It's like radio. We're going to keep plowing along until some big thing happens, and then we're going to react, and that's what has happened to radio.
What I had been doing was executive editor at Westwood One, so my job to oversee the floor of anchors and hosts and producers and things. It was about 20 people, and that was a fun job. COVID killed us, literally, because that was the excuse Cumulus Media gave us when they were, we're going to close you down.
Yeah.
And our boss, our top guy, vice president of the company, was saying, I don't understand why they're closing us down, really, because we're one of the few departments in Cumulus that actually makes money.
Right.
But too bad. Nice working with you. But they were great people, and we still get together regularly, even though we're not working together, but we'll still get together downtown D.C. So that's what I've been doing.
It's a world that is changing, and we kind of always knew back with automation and everything else that we're going to be looking. And when used to be a radio market like even Utica would have 8 or 10 owners.
Yes.
So you'd own an AM and an FM, and when they changed that under Reagan, it allowed companies to buy up a bunch of stations. So now Bob, who does mornings on on their news talk is also doing afternoons on their rock station and middays, by the way, on their other station in Binghamton.
As it happened,
what happens.
I was dismayed when the FCC, early 90s, decided to, there's Jim Rondinelli. Oh, my Lord. I haven't seen him in forever. Anyway.
Jim is retired.
Sorry, squirrel.
Yeah.
iHeart now owns, I think, more than half all the radio properties in the country.
Unbelievable. None in Utica anymore.
None.
No. Syracuse and Albany, but not in Utica right now.
I think it's a Syracuse station. People tell me they hear me out there.
Probably do. All right. So you feed that right remotely each morning.
From my office, a 10-step commute. You can't beat that, Bill.
God, believe me, I did the show from my basement studio.
Davey was telling me.
For about 2 months here.
Yeah.
So, all right, listen, I have to, you're killing the spots here, I hope. Yeah, got a break. We have news coming right up, top of the hour at WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
We're about to hear from President Trump. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He's going to go on TV right now on Fox and Friends as the manhunt continues for Charlie Kirk's assassin.
I spoke to Erica, his wife. We had a long talk, and she's devastated. She's absolutely devastated, as you can imagine.
The president will honor Kirk posthumously with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and he plans to attend the conservative's funeral. It is day 3 of the manhunt for the gunman.
We've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox.
The FBI making an urgent plea for the public to help identify the person of interest.
Fox's CB Cotton outside Utah Valley University, where Kirk was murdered. They've recovered the rifle. There are new videos out. One shows the gunman running after the shooting, and another that TMZ got,
which appears to show the person of interest walking by several neighborhood surveillance cameras. TMZ says this video was captured at 11:49 a.m. local time, and we know the FBI previously said the shooter first entered campus at 11:52 a.m. Less than an hour later, the suspect fired off the fatal shot.
Later this hour, Ryan Ruth's trial resumes in the second Trump assassination attempt last year. Ruth's defending himself, and his opening statements to the jury didn't last long.
After approximately 7 minutes of rambling, Judge Cannon cut him off, saying, quote, "We have limited patience, and you do not have unlimited license to go forward and make a mockery of the dignity of this courtroom." Now, the government's first 5 witnesses took the stand yesterday, including Secret Service agent Robert Furcano, who spotted Ruth's weapon pointing at him through the fence.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol outside the court in Fort Pierce, Florida. Days after Russia's war in Ukraine spilled across the border into Poland, where some Russian drones were shot down, France has deployed fighter jets to Poland. Britain has imposed new sanctions on Russia. America's listening to Fox News.
Since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families. Heroes like Mark Holbert. Mark enlisted in the United States Army and served multiple tours, including 3 in Afghanistan. On his 4th tour, he stepped on an improvised explosive device and lost 2 of his fingers and both legs. Tunnel to Towers provided Mark with a mortgage-free smart home, which enables Mark to live more independently. Support America's heroes, like Mark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Well, as President Trump's interview with Fox and Friends is underway on TV, there is a new Fox News poll out.
President Trump's job performance rating is the same now as it was a month ago. 46% approve, 54% disapprove. Vice President J.D. Vance at 41% approval. Voters weighed in on HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr., with 46% saying they like the job he's doing. When it comes to ICE, the split is a bit more even. 49% approve of their performance, 51% do not. The levels of the court system across the country are all liked by more than half of respondents, with varying levels of confidence. 66% in local courts, 58% in federal courts, and 55% in the Supreme Court. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Also in that Fox poll, only 29% rate the economy as good or excellent, and more people in this survey call that their most important issue than any other. On Wall Street, stock futures are falling the day after a big surge that lifted the Dow and the Nasdaq to record highs. Two beams of light shined overnight in New York City, where the Twin Towers once stood, marking 24 years since the September 11th terror attack.
President Donald Trump began his morning at a 9/11 event at the Pentagon. Then he came here to New York City to watch the Yankees play the Tigers, and he met with some Yankees players before the game. He told them that every time he comes, they win. That is what happened. The Yankees won 9-3. The players received Trump very well. Some fans did as well, chanting USA when he arrived in the stands. No first pitch for Trump, but there were pre-game ceremonies for the victims as well as the heroes of 9/11.
Fox's Nate Foy outside Yankee Stadium. On Thursday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers improved to 2-0 in the new season in the NFL, beating the now 1-1 Washington Commanders 27-18. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callan. A man who pleaded guilty to strangling his girlfriend is going to be spending up to a decade behind bars. Yesterday, a judge sentenced 46-year-old Jeremy Kirsch to prison on a manslaughter charge for killing Elizabeth Gerling at her home on Birch Circle in Marcy back in 2024. Gerling was the principal of Columbus Elementary School in Utica at the time of her passing. Prosecutors say Kirsch voluntarily stopped using his mental health medication before Gerling's death. The superintendent of Oneida School District is providing an update on repairs being made to the high school. Matthew Carpenter says site work is underway. The district is operating as if these repairs are going to take the entire academic year. That building was severely damaged by flooding back in June, and the process of rerouting storm drains has started, and plans call for temporary transformers to be installed next week. Students are currently taking classes at the Otto Shortell Middle School. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is looking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to investigator Sahid Karsik of the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, police are looking for 38-year-old Michael Schurer of the town of Vienna. He's wanted on 3 warrants for violating terms of his probation. Police are asking for calls and tips to be made to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers on their tip line at 1-866-730-8477 or through their app or online at MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com. You can see the full story on our website at WIBX950.com. In a possible case against Caitlin Conley regarding another trial, a third, in the death of Mary Yoder, Judge Bernadette Clark has denied a motion by the Oneida County DA Todd Carville to recuse herself from the case. Judge Clark said that she has absolutely no reservation whatsoever that she has been and continue to be impartial in the case, reminding the court that there currently is no case or charge against Conley after her conviction was overturned by the appellate court earlier this year. Clark said she didn't and has never commented on the case or a case in her 25 years on the bench. The DA presented testimony from 2 witnesses saying that at a Christmas party, Clark stated she thought Conley was innocent. Judge Clark has denied the claim. Another court delay in the case against the Oneida County deputy accused of setting a home on fire where his baby and his baby's mother were sleeping. Aaron Slasherman's attorney says more time is needed. The case has been scheduled for October 2nd. And a 67-year-old Utica man faces charges that he robbed the Utica Walmart using a BB gun. George Larkin is charged with stealing a box of protein shakes on the morning of September 9th. Larkin faces charges of second-degree larceny and fourth-degree possession of a weapon. Police say when apprehended, he also had a .243 caliber rifle in his possession. In sports, the Yankees avoided being swept after pounding the Tigers 9-3 in their finale from the Bronx. President Trump met with the Yankees Thursday night. He watched the Yankees-Tigers game in person with families of fallen 9/11 responders on the 24th anniversary of 9/11. The Mets, however, were unable to avoid a 4-game sweep after falling to the Phillies 6-4. Reed Garrett was tagged with a loss after allowing 3 runs on 3 hits and a walk. New York is still third in the National League wild card after 6 straight losses. They start a series with Texas tonight in Queens. The Liberty have won 3 in a row entering the postseason. New York took down the Sky 91-86. Brianna Stewart led the Libs in scoring with 24 points. The Giants are hoping to collect their first win of the season. New York is visiting Dallas this weekend on Sunday. The Buffalo Bills will be in the Garden State as they look to start their season with back-to-back victories. The Bills set to battle their AFC rivals, the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Week 3 of college football starts tonight. Syracuse 1-1 will host Colgate at the Dome. The Orange likely won't have one of its best offensive weapons on the field. Head coach Fran Brown says running back Yassine Willis probably will not play for the Orange when they host Colgate tonight at the JMA Wireless Dome. There still are some tickets available. In other regional action, Hamilton College opens up at 1:30 Saturday against Williams. Utica College's Believe Bowl home opener is tomorrow night, hosting RPI at 6 p.m. at Gaetano Field. Morrisville's home opener is at noon tomorrow, hosting University of Rochester. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
More beautiful weather expected right into the upcoming weekend. Really don't see a bunch of rain chances. Going to start to get a little bit more in the way of fall color with these cool nights and mild days. So hopefully we'll start seeing things looking a little nicer in the Adirondacks and the Catskills. A little patchy fog this morning, then sun 78. Tonight near 50. Cooler in our cooler spots, especially in the North Country. Sunny 78 on Saturday. Maybe some showers and thunder showers Sunday afternoon. I'm Ray Stachik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we're 53 and mostly sunny. Got a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend and a beautiful week next week, all on the way. Although I got to say, yesterday, when the sun was shining, it was just so beautiful. And then out of nowhere, and maybe it wasn't where you were, but at least where I was, out of nowhere, did you know, like the clouds at like 3 o'clock, 3:30, the clouds started coming in, and it was basically overcast until about 7 o'clock, which you really felt the temperature. We're into fall almost, so you felt that temperature end up coming down. All right, coming up this hour, we'll speak with Scott Carr, a long-time Utica radio personality who certainly is a part of WIBX and our 100th anniversary. All right, Barneville, time to celebrate. GPO Federal Credit Union is marking 10 years in Barneville with a decade of dedication. Celebrate September and enter to win the Barneville Bundle. It's $350 in local gift cards when you open or refer a checking account at the Barneville branch. Stop by every Friday in September for prizes, swag, and sweet treats. Plus, join them on Friday, that's today, from 11 till 1 for live music and games. We can now promote other radio stations. It's all changed now. Can you imagine? With Big Frog 104, there will be a broadcast today from 2 till 4. There's free paper shredding. Confidata, of course, it's our station, so
yes.
Confidata will be there, and you can help give back to the community. Donate canned goods all month long at the branch for Foothills Rural Community Ministry. And a thank you to Barneville for 10 amazing years. Celebrate together. Visit gpofcu.com for full details. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence, membership eligibility required, NCUA insured. Entry in the contest is based on opening a checking account. See Bridge for full details. Contest ends September 30, end of this month, 2025. And then one more, talk about Ricky Z, Rick Sicaro. You remember Rick being a musician? You play keyboard too, don't you?
Yeah, I play little keys, and I'm playing bass in a band now called the Marvelous Bohemians.
I love that.
Well, I don't like the name, actually. I didn't pick it, but
it's so late 70s, early 80s.
There already is a Bohemians. I tried telling them that, but they're like, well, we like it.
Well, listen, you're lucky enough to play in a band. That's cool.
It's fun.
Speaking of keyboard, nobody can play. I mean, Rick Sicaro, Ricky Z, on the keyboard is just...
He is.
Phenomenal.
I remember him.
Yes. His Billy Joel stuff.
He played with a band, too. Was it?
Was he with more than one band? I'll let you think about that. Right now, he's with a band of brothers at Mazda, love the CX-90, and they've really taken and transformed a race car into an amazing street vehicle that is very popular on the roads today. Save on a new Mazda lease. Enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s with 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, 70s, and CX-90s. See the dealership for details. And as Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Jim Rondinelli in. We're going to do a little, I think Friday's moving through into December for the 100th anniversary. We're going to try as often as possible to bring some people back like Scott and talk about some of the history of this radio station. And we'll do it when we come back at WIBX.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. Hey, you can even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines, or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
What would you do if you had a little bit more money to do it?
I'd go to law school.
I'd open a bakery.
I'd travel to visit my grandparents I haven't seen in 10 years.
We all have things we want to do in life, and there are people who want to help you do them. So how do we best ask for that help? GoFundMe. GoFundMe is the #1 fundraising platform. 200 million people have used GoFundMe to support people doing things like furthering their education, starting a small business, or bringing people together in support of a cause. No matter what your goals are, GoFundMe helps you take an important step toward them. GoFundMe is free to set up and manage, easy to use, and designed to help you reach your goals.
The community was so supportive in helping me finally open my bakery. Now, every day I wake up and get to do what I love. And it all started with GoFundMe.
What would you do if you had the money to do it? Get started today with GoFundMe. Start your GoFundMe today at gofundme.com/news. That's gofundme.com/news. gofundme.com/NEWS. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe with actors voicing experiences inspired by our users.
Hi, I'm Phil DiGiorgio. Planning for the future isn't always easy, but protecting what you've worked so hard for is important. The DiGiorgio Law Firm invites you to a free estate planning and asset protection workshop to be held on September 18th, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the DiGiorgio Law Firm offices at 258 Genesee Street, Utica, New York. Seats are limited, so call 315-732-3155 to reserve your spot. At this free workshop, you'll learn how to use trusts to preserve your home and assets from the high costs of long-term care, how to safeguard inheritances for loved ones receiving public benefits, and discover techniques to help you access Medicaid benefits for home care or nursing home costs without spending your assets down to zero. Take control of your legacy. You can't take it with you, but you can decide where it goes. Call the DiGiorgio Law Firm today at 315-732-3155 to RSVP for the workshop or to schedule your own consultation. Again, that's 315-732-3155. The DiGiorgio Law Firm. Start protecting your hard-earned assets now.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Hi, this is Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. If you're interested in keeping up with events and news in the Mohawk Valley region, I have the show for you. It's called This Week in the Mohawk Valley, and it airs every Sunday on WIBX. Join us as we talk with area business leaders, elected officials, law enforcement, educators, and more. Don't miss This Week in the Mohawk Valley every Sunday at 9 a.m. on WIBX 950 a.m. 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Davey, I know you want me to talk to Scott in Kirkville. Where is he? I don't see him on my screen. Pick him up and see if he's there. It's not on my screen. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's here now. I got it. Here he is. Scott, good morning.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. You were not on my screen. It's like you were the invisible man here.
I am. I incognito out here.
Yeah.
Hey,
so say,
what?
Say hi to Scott Carr. He's a legendary
Scott.
broadcaster in the area and in D.C. as well. And you'll hear his voice all over the country. Jim Rondinelli, say hi, Jim. You remember Jim?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah,
Hey,
this is
Jimmy,
like a little reunion.
Oh
we've
my
got
gosh,
going
it
on
is.
here.
I wanted to just mention real quick that Jim is one of the first people I ever met working in radio, when I was being trained by Dan Roy, may he rest in peace, to do overnights at WRUN. And Jim Rondinelli I think you were in the news department, were you?
News and sports.
Sports.
That was like
You got Jim. I hate to do this.
I'm sorry.
Steve,
There we
you
go.
got me tight on
I
this.
think I would know by now.
1982
or 3.
81.
81. Yeah, it was even longer than
KG 104 and RUN.
KG 104, sadly dark, but now you have Big Frog 104, so.
Yes. Well, that's really what it is, right? That was what KG was. Yeah.
WKGW went dark, gone.
And the Frog is on that frequency. The Frog was on 96.
It was 96.1. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Scott. Sorry, it's reunion time.
Okay.
The next 3 months for us. So.
I know they made the news down in Utica, but there was a robbery at the box office at the Silent Film Festival. Unfortunately, the silent alarm didn't work. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Scott is an aspiring comedian, and I've got the rim shot. Here we go. Oh no, wrong one. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Did I hear right, Bill? Did you just celebrate your 27th wedding anniversary?
I did. 27 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you need to really congratulate my wife for living through these 27 years.
Congratulations, Allie.
Yeah.
She probably never listens, right?
Believe me.
There was wild rumors when you were on vacation.
Yes.
There was wild rumors when you were on vacation that your wife encouraged you to run with the Bulls in Spain. That's why I was just wondering.
Yeah.
No?
We didn't get to the Bulls, but we did a lot of running. Yeah. But
and I also understood that Kamala Harris's book just came out, 107, and I guess you guys are mentioning it because she approved your green room, and unfortunately she found out that wasn't part of the Green New Deal, so she
yes.
It is solar. It's solar powered, though.
It is. Yes, it is.
It could have been the flip flop that maybe decided the election. That's what I heard.
Well, that might have been it. Listen, I wanted to one of the things that I'm telling Scott about this, Scott Carr about this, Scott, is he's to be able to. He tells his jokes, but he can pick a game like nobody else. It's unbelievable.
Is that right?
We enjoy the jokes, wink, wink, Scott, but the picks are amazing. What do you think of Syracuse tonight?
Well, 40 points. I guess that's on one of those outliers.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I couldn't find
that's
the.
What I heard. I mean, I don't think you can bet it in Vegas, but you got all these outlier websites. Let me give you a couple things to look forward to. I mean, 40 points. Syracuse is going to have the third stringers in. Hopefully, if not, it's going to be that means how great Colgate played. But you just don't know. I mean, when there's 40 points, what I've noticed though is that when we talked about before, you get these high point spreads. If you look at the first 2 or 3 weeks, but if you bet the team total over under, you might as well bet it because classic example was Texas Tech last week. They were a 48-point favorite, and they scored 64 points.
Okay.
And didn't cover the spread. So, but they did cover their team total over/under.
And that's where I would, that's where I would think that I would you'd want to probably stay away from Syracuse. Yeah.
Right, exactly, 40 points. But
crazy.
the first 2 or 3 weeks in college, this is what you get. You get all these teams, 33, 34-point spreads. You got to make a decision.
Although the game is on, it is on the ACC network tonight. Believe it or not.
Yeah, you can watch it, and it's a Friday, Friday night game. I think you got a great coach down in Colgate. He's an offensive guru. And the ironic part was they're talking to him on the air. He actually, last year when he was offered the Colgate job, he was offered a position on Syracuse's staff. So he was ready to take that until Colgate offered him the head coaching job.
Wow.
So,
and listen, I would if the line is 40 points, I would think Colgate would be a pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, is Syracuse really going to win by 40 points? Anyway, I just looked at a couple of sites that might show Syracuse, and nothing. It's not even listed.
That's what I'm saying. It's you can find anything. What do they say? You can bet something anytime. I mean, so there's something out there in the stratosphere, especially if it's on TV. But you have to. I mean, I don't think you can find it in Vegas. Now, between Syracuse and New York, you're not going to find it.
Okay, so that is they should. What did you think of their win last week? To be honest with you,
I thought
the fact that they came back, I thought was really, really big.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I would laugh at, is that we look at differently. If I was a Connecticut fan, I think that coaching staff should get the game ball for Connecticut, because that was the worst 6 minutes of coaching I've seen.
Yeah.
First of all, they sat on the lead. They thought they had enough points. They punted 5 straight times. They played. We always talk about prevent defense. It means prevent win. Those last 2 drives Syracuse had, that was about as prevent defense. They're playing them off the field. You know that 4th and 4 when they scored a touchdown? The closest player was about 15 yards away from the receiver.
Yeah.
And then the last drive was like toss and catch, and Syracuse, give them credit, they took advantage of it. But man, I mean, then all of a sudden you got your Bills. By the way, that was my big pick last week was Baltimore over 25.5 points. You mentioned
there you go.
On the air last year. So we all are happy. Buffalo comes back and wins the game, and that's why I like Baltimore with their team total this week, because I don't think they're going to stop scoring after what happened. And they're looking at about a 27.5 point against Cleveland. And my Dolphins are only 22.5 against New England as a team total. Now I'm talking team total over.
Team totals, not game total. Team
not
total.
The whole game. Yeah.
Okay.
And to me, I like the concept. Like last night, for example, the game did not go over, but Green Bay won over their team total.
Yeah. Okay.
And so if you concentrate on one team, then it's a lot easier than two teams. The Dolphins, if they can't score 23 points against New England in Miami, then the coach should probably give the key to the executive men's room back, because he's gone. I mean, he's supposed to be this offensive guru, and it happened last week. I think they're going to score a lot of points.
By the way, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm getting a bulletin that President Trump is saying a person is in custody in connection with the shooting of Charlie Kirk. But cautioned that his information is preliminary. So I'm not sure what that means, but the president has just announced that. So
that's great news. Fantastic. In the last 2 games, I'm going to pick one college. You know what I said is that the market value from last year is what is predicated in the first 2 games, how they get the point spread, because there's no history. So the 2 teams I've been following that didn't score any points last year was Utah and Rutgers. And they went out and got an offensive coordinator, both teams, new quarterback and receivers. And Utah is just killing teams, and the over-unders are low because of last year. They're playing Wyoming. The over-under's 45. They're around 27, 28.
Okay.
So I like them. And Rutgers the same way. Last week, the team total for the whole game was 45. They scored 45 themselves.
So your real advice is focus on team totals. I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
I have two questions, though. Mike saying, according to Scott, UConn coaches should have been the one doing the wind sprints, running the wind sprints at the Dome. How do you feel about Fran Brown's decision to do that? He got some criticism from some coaches across the industry.
Let me tell you this. That's old school.
Yeah.
And even in high school, in the summertime, you had two-a-days.
Yeah.
Back when I was there.
I like the move. I like it.
It's a move. And to be honest, I know a couple college basketball coaches, and I think we know about one. If you play lousy, there might be a scrimmage after the game.
And then finally,
I disagree. I was nuts.
I want to ask you the Bills Jets this weekend. I think the Bills should not take the Jets lightly. But in terms of your team totals, what is it for the Bills, and what do you think?
It's 46. 46 is the over/under. They're 6.5. So you kind of the totals got it up to 46.
Okay.
So they're looking at about a 26-27. I also look at football scores too, because 28.5 to means 31, because that's 4 touchdowns, a field goal. So if you can get that below 28, that's 4 touchdowns, and that's what happened last night with Green Bay.
All right.
I think that the Jets have beaten the Bills the last 3 times in New York, right?
They opened up the season last year
with Rodgers getting hurt, right?
Yep.
That one year,
and they lost.
They lost, and then Allen got hurt in a game a couple years ago at MetLife, and so they play him tough. It's a funny line, but the Bills after last week, God love them, and maybe it's their year. I mean, that was an incredible comeback, and Derrick Henry usually doesn't fumble.
What a game! All right, Scott, I hate to do this, but we're up against the clock.
No problem.
And
you guys are great. By the way, the history. I got some history with you guys, IBX, Danny Klingscale and Marcus, when you guys had sports talk shows. Klingscale, I think, went to Kansas City, I think. And
yes, he did. He's in town this weekend.
He is in town this weekend.
Yes, along with a bunch of other people from that
era.
Tell him Scooter from the Wiffle Tree. We did a trivia. He did a trivia contest down at the Wiffle Tree.
All right.
So we kind of met up after the Wiffle Tree.
I'm getting old, but I'll try to remember that. Scooter from the Wiffle Tree.
You'd have to be old to remember the Wiffle Tree. So, all right.
88, 89.
All right, Scott. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, have a good one. And Stefan, by the way, saying he's also in town. Stefan Rubitsky. You said you had a quick Stefan story.
Right now?
Well, just before I break.
Okay. So the last time I talked to Bill Keeler, I think, was the night that I told you I was coming back to WIBX, leaving his morning show on Rock 107.
Yes.
Which I knew was not going to be met with, great reception. You guys were kind enough to give me a job. But I knew Bill felt...
But I understood it.
Bill felt bad. So I told Bill I'm going to have to... He's like, oh, Ed's not going to like this. And so we hung up. And the next thing I know... Right. And then the next thing I know, Stefan Rubitsky calls me at home. He says, Bill would like to give you a message. Your services are no longer required. I'll never forget that. It was comical. My first thought was, I better get down to the station quick before they lock me out and get all my stuff out of there, which I did. I went there overnight and picked up my stuff.
So Stefan did the dismissal. You were leaving anyway. So,
well, why didn't Mimi was the PD? She should have called me. Actually, she did call me. I just remembered. She did call me.
Yeah, right after Stefan, though.
Yes, and may she rest in peace, too. That was a loss.
Definitely a loss. So Stefan says hello. And
hey, Stefan.
He's informing you your services are no longer required today. So, all right, a quick break, 8:32 at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Lisa, owner of Fit Body Boot Camp in Clinton and Whitesboro. I couldn't be prouder of our amazing members. Take a listen.
My name is Kim Shackler, and I'm from Deansboro, New York. What brought me to Clinton Fit Body Boot Camp was there was an email that went out asking people to put in for a free membership. I was very, very excited. As soon as I walked through those doors, those coaches were just absolutely amazing. Greeted you right away, explained what you were going to be doing, how everything was going to be run there. I have loved it ever since, and I go 6 days a week. I have met so many wonderful, beautiful people that have become my very closest friends. Ages all the way into their 20s and all the way up into their 60s and 70s. Age doesn't matter. Those bonds that you make there at this gym is absolutely beautiful, and the coaches are all there for you.
If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. The time is now to live your best life at Fit Body Boot Camp.
Hi folks, this is Rob Hilton. Your family is your greatest treasure. Is your estate plan ready to protect them when it matters most? At Hilton Estate and Elder Law, we understand the importance of getting it right. That's why we offer a free review of your current plan. Together we'll assess it and provide honest feedback to ensure it truly works. No cost, no obligation, just confidence and peace of mind. Let's prepare for the future together. Schedule a free review today.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law.
Let's set the record straight. At Utica National Insurance Group, respect is more than a principle. It's how they build trust. It means listening, acting, and standing by you every step of the way. They respect the dedication of their teammates, the partnership of their agents, and the lives of every policyholder they protect. Because when they lead with respect, they're always there when it matters most. Utica National, protecting what matters, supporting where it matters.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callan. A man who pleaded guilty to strangling his girlfriend is going to be spending up to a decade behind bars. Yesterday, a judge sentenced 46-year-old Jeremy Kirsch to prison on a manslaughter charge for killing Elizabeth Gerling at her home on Birch Circle in Marcy back in 2024. Gerling was the principal of Columbus Elementary School in Utica at the time of her passing. Prosecutors say Kirsch voluntarily stopped using his mental health medication before Gerling's death. The superintendent of Oneida School District is providing an update on repairs being made to the high school. Matthew Carpenter says site work is underway. The district is operating as if these repairs are going to take the entire academic year. That building was severely damaged by flooding back in June, and the process of rerouting storm drains has started, and plans call for temporary transformers to be installed next week. Students are currently taking classes at the Otto Shortell Middle School. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is looking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to investigator Sahid Karsik of the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, police are looking for 38-year-old Michael Schurer of the town of Vienna. He's wanted on 3 warrants for violating terms of his probation. Police are asking for calls and tips to be made to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers on their tip line at 1-866-730-8477 or through their app or online at MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com. You can see the full story on our website at WIBX950.com. In a possible case against Caitlin Conley regarding another trial, a third, in the death of Mary Yoder, Judge Bernadette Clark has denied a motion by the Oneida County DA Todd Carville to recuse herself from the case. Judge Clark said that she has absolutely no reservation whatsoever that she has been and continued to be impartial in the case, reminding the court that there currently is no case or charge against Conley after her conviction was overturned by the appellate court earlier this year. Clark said she didn't and has never commented on the case or a case in her 25 years on the bench. The DA presented testimony from 2 witnesses saying that at a Christmas party, Clark stated she thought Conley was innocent. Judge Clark has denied the claim. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
More beautiful weather expected right into the upcoming weekend. Really don't see a bunch of rain chances. Going to start to get a little bit more in the way of fall color with these cool nights and mild days. So hopefully we'll start seeing things looking a little nicer in the Adirondacks and the Catskills. A little patchy fog this morning, then sun 78. Tonight near 50. Cooler in our cooler spots, especially in the North Country. Sunny 78 on Saturday. Maybe some showers and thunder showers Sunday afternoon. I'm Ray Stachik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently, we're at 55 with sunshine. Beautiful day on the way. Great day for golfing. Jim Rondinelli, I know you wanted to say before you head out to Scott Carr.
Yeah, it was great to see you after it's been over 20 years, probably.
Long time. I forget how, but I'm so glad to see you, Jim.
You
because,
too.
like I said, Jim and I we started as little, Cub DJs sort of
exactly.
back in the day, and who knew we'd be still around.
Yeah.
What was the overnight show? Was it Bob Dearborn?
Yeah, Bob Dearborn. Yeah,
Dearborn.
he actually came to town to
Love
the Singers
that,
on Mall
he
for a
did.
show. Yeah.
Well, and didn't he start? Who was the one that started New Year's Eve?
Yeah, that was him.
That was Bob
That
Dearborn.
was him with
Did
some partners.
mornings in Utica.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I remember when they went on the air. That was what is now Light 98.7.
Light 98.7.
And
Those
they
were
went
some
on the air, and
round
Archie
days.
Burton was doing the first show, and they played some rock and roll tunes right out of the box. And remember, it was WIBQ, which was
Beautiful music.
Yes.
beautiful music, middle of the road.
Yeah, that was a big shocker right there. So, anyway, golf well. Enjoy the
I
day.
hope so.
All right,
Good
quick
to see you,
break,
Jim.
and we'll come back with Scott Carr. Any questions? 315-736-0186. And we'll talk a little old times with my friend Scott Carr at WIBX.
Jolo.
Jim Boeheim is going to be in our next Real Men Get Tested commercial.
Wow, you know he's a cancer survivor.
He's all in.
I'm not appearing in your commercial for Real Men Get Tested.
It sounds like you two are bonding.
Yeah, especially after I gave him coaching advice.
We're not bonding. You know nothing about basketball.
I think there's a job offer coming.
I'll bet you sit next to McNamara.
Don't be stupid. Real men get tested for cancer. I'm living proof that early detection can save your life.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft.
I thought it was safe.
If that happens, LifeLock gives you a US-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims, your agent handles it all. In fact, we're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. Isn't it nice to have someone like that on your side? Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
In studio is Scott Carr, and I got about 18 minutes to chat with him before we get to the top of the hour, and it's
not enough time. Bill.
It's not enough time, which is why we're going to have you back in December. I want everybody to know we're planning a reunion show where we would bring in all of the people who have ever been on, as many as we can, who've ever been on WIBX.
Yep. I give a shout out to my fellow Black River Broadcasting folks who are in town this weekend. They're getting together.
And Black River used to own the radio station.
Yep, WIBX and Light 98.7.
What a change. What a change in the industry. What a change.
So 100th anniversary. I just wanted to mention
Before
quick.
we get into that, let me bring in Joe.
Go ahead.
He's been waiting. Joe Lode, you're on with Scott Carr. Good
Joe
morning.
Lode.
We all worked together at one point.
Oh my God, Joe! I laughed out loud. I mean, not in a bad way. When I got to see your face on that billboard driving in from Rome today, I was like, there he is! Oh my God!
Larger than life.
Than
itself.
life.
Hey, Scott, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. I hope you are.
Yeah, great. I can't complain. I'm still trudging along. You know how that goes.
We're all trudging, man. I'm looking to retirement.
Trudging is is really it should be the post 50. Once you hit 50, you must learn how to trudge.
That's right.
Because it's what we're doing.
Well, Joe and I and Bill had such good times around 98, 99 doing our Keeler in the Morning show with some wacky stuff. And Joe was always the fall guy. Got caught doing the crappy assignments out there.
That is true. Like sleeping out. I mean, by that point I was sick of doing the sleeping and camping out and all that stuff. So Joe became the guy who lived on the buildings and all of that stuff.
Remember that time you spent like 3 days at a convenience store in a tent for something? I can't remember what that was.
Yeah,
about.
that was actually on the corner of Burstone Road across from the Friendlies with John Ciccati from Rome in the tent that time.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
Do you remember the time we did the car giveaway? I guess that was on the TV show where they lived. It was like Survivor, and we had 6 people. They lived in a car.
That's right.
For a week.
Yes.
And the last one to survive won the car, which was used.
Do you remember, Bill, the piece of junk vehicle that we tried to give away as a prize? Like we tried to fix it up and give it away?
Well, we did 2 of those. Well, that was that one. And the contestant finally had to sue the radio station because it was a horrible vehicle. It did not run. It had like a broken axle. But then there was the one where we took the Jeep and we said we're giving away a convertible, and we took a Jeep and we cut the top off of it. And and I never realized how much wiring goes through that upper part of the vehicle.
Really?
Turns out a lot. No longer did the door locks work. The lights didn't work. Nothing worked after that.
I'm going to give a shout out to Linda and Matt too.
Linda and Matt, and I just spoke to Linda. We had her daughter is in a horror movie.
That's right. I saw that.
And we had the producer on the other day, and Matt is very instrumental up at Fox and UTR doing TV production.
Good for
Because
him.
we all had to learn TV when we couldn't do radio.
We did. Yeah, we should have gone to TV, Bill.
Yeah, we should have.
As a matter of fact, I've been in touch with Matt a lot recently because of, I have a lot of new projects happening with Taste This with Joe Lode. It's a food show we air on CNY homepage, and soon to release the new website in Utica that will hopefully change the way people go to eat out in Utica.
All right. Very cool. Great idea, Joe.
I can remember, I just wanted to say one more thing. I remember Scott Carr being very, very uncomfortable at times during that morning show.
Oh, when you brought the pit bull in?
Remember
you brought in a pit bull? Because I was going on about how pit bulls attack people more than any other breed.
Yeah, and that's what we brought
so
one
they
in.
bring in a pit bull, and they tape dog treats to the bottom of my chair. And this pit bull is sniffing around me, and he's sitting there, and he's going,
He didn't want you, though. He wanted the treats under you.
Right.
Yes.
Was that what you were remembering, Joe?
No, that's not what he was talking
I
about.
was more remembering a lot of maybe some nudity.
Back in the day, there was a lot of that. And
My wife did not like that.
Scott would leave you would leave the studio.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you guys would bring in a nude woman and dress her up in food.
That was the human buffet. Now let's remember what the titles were.
The human buffet. Yeah, the wife was not a fan.
Oh, this show is really going right down the tubes, but I hope there's someone enjoying it, because I certainly am.
Indeed.
All right,
listen,
Joe.
we need to do a reunion show, though. I get that you want to do one with IBX, but definitely we all need to get together again and just hang out and
Well,
just
I
let
would-
the cameras or the audio roll.
At some point, it would be cool to do a Keeler in the Morning TV and radio reunion, because when you look at the number of people that have worked with me over the years, there are some spectacular talents, and all, you two are both a part of that. So it would be pretty cool. But this year, it's 100 years for IBX, and some amazing, I'll tell you, some amazing people have come out of this building.
Yeah.
Not this building per se, but
you'd be surprised. You want me to mention
yeah,
Hal
we're going to
Smith
talk
now?
about that in a
Okay.
second.
All
Joe, have a great day and nice billboard.
Joe.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Scott, nice talking with you.
You
Keep
too,
in touch,
buddy. I'm glad to see you're so
All right.
active in the community.
I
Okay.
try.
All right.
Take care.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
Joe. Wayne says, great idea, Joe. That food angle is your idea. Great idea. Okay. I like it. Mike says, can't wait for you to bring back. This'll lead you into your conversation here. I can't wait for you to bring back Phil Stern.
Oh, yeah. Phil. Well, he's the reason. I have a little bit of guilt around my neck.
right.
Because I resigned from WIBX suddenly because Phil Stern was, I'm going to say it, he was kind of a jerk. And he was doing the afternoon show on WIBX, and I never thought he was starting to push me around, and I'd had it. So I just quit. I played Already Gone by the Eagles live on WIBX, a news talk station, and Davey was just telling me how he remembers. He goes, you can't be playing music on
That was
WIBX.
one of the most famous rebellious moments
It
on
was.
WIBX is what
I
he,
had Bill
said.
Keeler on the other end of the phone as I'm resigning, and all the management was out of town, and I always felt a little guilty about it. If Mary Jo Beach is listening, I know she's forgiven me. She told me a time later, I'm going to get you back, and not that way. She hired me back a couple years later. I left Bill's show to
I
go
was
back.
mad over that.
And you were,
We got over it.
Yeah, fired twice out of that deal.
So interestingly, well, they were going to get rid of you anyway, and it was just terrible.
Yes.
And anyway, that's what this industry is. It's just something else, let me tell you.
Now it's a fond
but I
memory.
think I was on the phone, and we promoted that you were coming over to.
You were.
Yeah.
Live.
We promoted live that you were coming to my show.
That might have been illegal.
Might have
I
been.
think.
Might have been. Right, we were live on the air. That's right.
I don't think you're supposed to broadcast one station
you're
on
not.
another one.
You're not. No.
Anyway, so WIBX was the first radio station that I listened to as a kid. I'm from New Hartford, and of course I was listening to IBX for the school closings.
That's
hoping
right.
New Hartford High. I hope New Hartford schools are closed for the day.
And the menus.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they do the menus as well,
Right.
the lunch menus?
And I want to give a shout out to Hank Brown, because he did the 9 to noon show for many years on WIBX, and he was kind enough to let me come into the station up at Clark Mills Road and hang out as a 16-year-old sort of intern.
Yeah.
Just letting me hang out. And then who would guess some 20 years later, so I would end up being program director and news director of the station, which a job I loved because WIBX is part of this community.
Yeah.
It's the second oldest radio station in all of upstate New York. The oldest is WSYR in Syracuse. And I have a trivia question for you.
Okay.
WIBX's first call letters were what?
Actually, I do.
You know this.
I do not know this. I know it. If that makes any sense. So I have researched it, and as part of the 100th year that we're working on, but I cannot remember. It was a different frequency too, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. They changed
couple
frequencies
times.
about 5 times over the years. It was 1230 for a long time, kilohertz, and it was now there's a famous radio station in Chicago, WLS, but it was 1925, and I just want the listeners to think about for a second back then. Radio was a freak thing. Nobody had radios. TV hadn't been invented yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a little radio shop down in Bank Place, downtown Utica, that would sell these, it was called Grid Leak Incorporated. And for the years, I was like, what is grid leak even?
Yeah.
A grid leak resistor is, you needed those to build the old radios.
Right.
So that was why the name of the company. And there was a music store that sold pianos right next door. So this person, an enterprising person's like, hey, we can start a radio station. 10 watts.
A 10-watt radio
10-watt
station.
radio
Wow.
station. So it barely got out of downtown.
Yeah.
And so they set it up in the music store, and they would play. Oh, another interesting little. You could not play phonograph records back then. It was actually I don't know if it was illegal, but the phonograph companies didn't want you to play their records, and I really don't know why.
Well, we're going through that interestingly on, like, for instance, on YouTube, I get nailed if I play a song. Yet we have a Ask Captain BMI, but not for YouTube.
Right.
So that's probably a very similar copyright issue.
You couldn't play phonograph records, which just seems like, what? They would play for the old wax cylinder, but mostly it was live music. And this is, if I could go
Think
back
about that.
If I could go back in time, I would love to see those old IBX studios. They later moved to the Adirondack Bank building. They bounced around a bit, but they would
At
bring
one point in Hotel Utica.
they had a whole orchestra and piano, and they would do this live music.
And think about that for so few people. I mean, there were so few people actually had the ability to listen to a radio, and that's what it was in the beginning. I want to talk a little more about that. Hi, IBX, you're on the radio. I have no phone screen left.
Hello,
Davey
Bill.
left. Of course, it's Stefan. Stefan, quickly. I don't have much time, so hey, say hi to Scott and
Stefan.
Well, hello, Scott.
Hey,
Carr.
we were just reminiscing about the time you fired me.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Well, we were a little angry that Scott was leaving us, but he was leaving anyway.
No, some people, I know you weren't angry.
I was absolutely not angry because you were being screwed because they were getting rid of you anyway. So.
Well, it's radio. It's showbiz, as I like to say.
Whatever.
But Stefan, I hope you've been well, buddy.
I'm doing well.
right.
Actually, I'm going to be on my way down to the Mets game. I'm going to tomorrow's game down in New York City at Citi Field.
What have we lost? 7 in a row now?
6 in a row.
6 in a row. Well, let's hope it stops there with the Rangers. So, all right, 7, say goodbye.
You have fun.
Bye, Scott.
Take care,
Bye,
Stephen.
Bill. Have a good weekend.
You do the same. Thank you. Speaking with Scott Carr, and I have just a couple more minutes as we hopefully on Fridays bring in people who have worked here at IBX. Fortunately, it's nice a great convenience the fact that Scott and I have worked together more than once and
two different
shows. And he also worked here at IBX, and I was not here when I got hired for IBX. Now, 14 years ago, can you believe that? I've never been anywhere for 14 years.
Right.
It was the end of this is going to destroy IBX, and maybe it has. But here I am, one of the last left.
I'm so glad you're on an FM frequency. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Nice, But I wanted to say, you're talking about how IBX started and they had live music in studio because you couldn't play the recorded music. But think about radio in 1925.
Nobody had them.
1930, even in those early years, no one had. It wasn't like, well, we're doing what they did in Chicago or New York. There was no history. It was inventing the platform.
It was brand new.
They
were called ham operators back then.
Think about that.
And you were kind of probably looked at as some techno freak if you were interested in radio.
Right.
But it wasn't long, and started within 5 years it exploded, and then they had to create the FCC to regulate it.
Right. And here we are somehow today.
And they used to broadcast from several places in downtown Utica. The old Hotel Utica, they were up in there for a while.
Interesting to just think about the number of, over the 100 years, the number of stories, major life stories that that really helped dictate what was happening in the rest of the world for the future, from World War II to just think of all of those major stories that were covered here. You heard them first. The assassination of JFK. I mean, think of them. All of these stories.
If you're interested in history, before we go, just go to YouTube, look up WIBX and Lou Burrell. I'm sorry to have to ask this. He passed away. Okay. But Lou, before he put together a lot of history on WIBX.
Look for that. It's on YouTube. I promised Davey I would get out at 57:35, which means gotta go. Scott will be back in December. Thanks.
Mattress Express's free adjustable base promotion is on. Come on, pick out any king or queen set in the store except Tempur-Pedic and get upgraded to an adjustable base at no extra charge. You heard me right. And we have no credit check payment plans.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
I see the timing there. I want to tell you about the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. They're pausing accepting new clients, but they will accept them soon. They're looking for a new provider. When that happens, new clients are coming to the Falcon Clinic.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
This is a Fox News alert. The suspected gunman in Charlie Kirk's assassination's in custody. I'm Dave Anthony. President Trump broke that news on TV a short time ago, telling Fox and Friends.
I understand it, and again, subject to change, but, you know, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
The president says a minister and the father of the suspect played a role in his capture. We expect an update from the FBI a little later this hour from Utah, where Charlie Kirk, a conservative activist, was murdered while addressing a crowd at Utah Valley University at one of his campus events debating students. And the president also says this about the gunman.
I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
The president also told Fox he's picked the next city for National Guard troops to crack down on crime.
We're going to Memphis. Memphis is
that's the next city.
Deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee. The governor is happy.
The president also says he still wants to help Chicago and Illinois, but the Democratic mayor and governor keep resisting. The president also claims Washington, D.C. is crime-free after he sent troops and federal agents there. We're learning more about the student gunman who shot up Evergreen High School in Colorado on Wednesday, wounding 2 classmates.
According to the Denver Post, social media accounts appearing to be connected with the shooter are littered with references to mass shootings and anti-Semitic views. The school's lockdown procedures are being credited in preventing the shooter from reaching many more of the students, and both of those victims are in critical condition, according to police.
Fox's Chandler Painter, the teenage gunman, is dead. He shot himself. A student at the Naval Academy in Maryland is hospitalized after being injured during what ended up being an active shooter false alarm. That student mistook naval security forces who'd responded for an attacker and attacked them and was shot and wounded in response. America's listening to Fox News.
Since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families. Heroes like Mark Holbert. Mark enlisted in the United States Army and served multiple tours, including 3 in Afghanistan. On his 4th tour, he stepped on an improvised explosive device and lost 2 of his fingers and both legs. Tunnel to Towers provided Mark with a mortgage-free smart home, which enables Mark to live more independently. Support America's heroes, like Mark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills?